my ninth grade year.
Oh, man.
Was right down the street.
What a disappointing night last night, though, in sports, though. The United States.
It was, you know what made it even worse is that when you think about sports, what do they always say? Defense wins championships. And the thing that really became evident is at some point hitting will fail. At some point, the high-powered offense will fail. But at no point will the defense fail. And when you watch the U.S. team with all that firepower on offense, pitching did them in. When you watch the Heat last night, they couldn't score. Defense did them in. And it's just unfortunate that no matter how much we try to stray away from that in both football, basketball, baseball, and all sports, no matter how much we try to deviate from that and come up with some interesting offensive scheme, when it gets down to the championship, defense wins.
And we get so excited about the Heat, and then last night happens. That's kind of frustrating.
You know what was frustrating to me? I know that the Heat and Spo and Bam and Wiggins have to look long-term. Like, to fight through these games now and not be able to play the last 5 because it just caught up to you, right? So you need to take that break. You need to get fresh to finish the season. But they were on such a good run. They were on such a good run, and I hate it to come to an end because we don't have our guys. That's it. I understand it. I was frustrated. I understood it, but I was still a little frustrated that, I want to be at full strength for this final run. And they're so close to being out of the play-in that it just, man, tough.
And I want to leave you guys on this because I know Marcos is here and my cousin Vladimir and Leroy, you guys are going to take it away. Panthers, that's it. We're pretty much done is all I can say. That's it. Then
Dan.
Hey, -1.
No. Hold on.
-1, Vlad, -1 his ass.
That's fair.
You earned it.
No, that's fair.
I'm not gonna read your message.
No lead. No need.
Okay.
No need.
-1.
Okay.
Look, I'm just in utter shock that we started on time. That's my fault. I was not prepared for an on-time start.
Here. Whatever time we start, your start time is 10 o'clock.
You're right. You're 100% correct. Hey, look, and you know what? I was ready too. It's unfortunate that I just, listen, sometimes you strike out. And I'm gonna go ahead and take that on the chin. And I assuming that Dan Day was just in the building, so he did the Dan Day thing.
No, Dan Day was working the show before.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Nobody's here.
For sure.
Logged in. So Leroy. No, you, and you're home, which makes no sense.
No, listen. Everybody did the right thing in regards to.
You know what? When Tobin's not in, and I know people all over the place, I usually log in early so everybody know I'm there.
Right, for you to say, I didn't know we were gonna start at 10 a.m. That's what the time the show starts.
Okay, Vlad. Then you want to? Okay, when's the last time you started at 10 a.m. Since that's the time the show starts?
How about the other day?
You're always ready at 10.
How about the other day?
This is
the other day before that.
Hey,
that's
Marcos,
1 out of 369.
Marcos, just take the L.
Let's get on with the
show. We already started talking about
the baseball classic. I heard y'all talking about Venezuela dominating.
And you know what? Here's what I hate.
I was in Doral Suela yesterday. I saw all of them.
This is what I hate. Right? I hate when the game starts and he's dealing, right?
Yeah.
He hosing down everybody from the US and they go, I don't know where this is coming from. He's a 5. I'm like, what? They said, hopefully the US can get to their bullpen because their bullpen is running a little thin and that dude threw like he was a Cy Young winner. Huh?
Yeah, it was 2-0
it was
for
crazy.
I don't know, for majority of the game, damn near.
And then when dude came in at the end of the game and was throwing 98 miles an hour and the ball moving 2 feet, I was like, oh my goodness.
How satisfying is that for Venezuela after everything they've gone through with, America and the political stuff that's going on, to be able to defeat the U.S. in the World Baseball Classic is just like poetic justice for them.
It's funny how no matter what's going on in the world, if you got petty, sports is always
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, to just, and you could ask Dan Day about this, Vlad, and I'm not sure which way it went, but one of the reasons why New Orleans hates Atlanta is because one of the mayors took the other one's wife.
Oh,
back in the day.
Okay, so what? The city got upset?
Nope.
The whole city took a person.
Like a whole city got upset because somebody took.
No,
That's
right?
crazy.
So
That's crazy talk.
So, but I'm telling you, look, if you ask anybody from New Orleans, you ask anybody from Atlanta, who's your arch nemesis? They'll say the other city.
Right, I get that. But if you're telling me the basis of this animosity is
that's how it started.
Mayor took another mayor's wife?
That's how it started. That's how it started. Way, way back. So this is like a blood feud from way before there was even sports, and it's just carried on into sports.
No research, but I'm thinking the Atlanta mayor took the New Orleans mayor's wife. I'm thinking that.
All right.
I don't know. I'll do the research, but I'm just saying I'm thinking the Atlanta mayor took the New Orleans.
Right. So disappointing
that
Monday.
adds to the blood feud.
Disappointing Monday. Vlad, the energy was I'm gonna tell you what I was amazed at. It seemed like we played that game in Venezuela.
Listen, throughout this whole time in the World Baseball Classic, especially in the games in Miami at Lone Depot, it's felt like the Dominicans and Venezuelans were more fans than they were of any other country, including the U.S. team. Like I said on Sunday night, that Dominican Republic U.S. there was 65-35 Dominican Republic,
which I find. I find weird, and I don't know why. Everybody, and here's the thing, it would have been 70-30 U.S. if the U.S. would have won, which is crazy. It's crazy talk to me, because if you in, right? It's like I met 1,700,000 people that was around for the 72 Dolphins, right? Like, you just like
supposedly.
Don't talk about it, be about it, right? Or how many people you hear you talk about a game and they say, oh yeah, I was there. The OB only fit 60,000 people, but I'm telling you, they had 80,000 season tickets. Right? It's the craziest thing, So I get it, but it was a good game. I wish they could have held the lead for longer than 2 seconds, because that's about how it happened. And we had a whole bunch of guys who could crush the ball. And believe it or not, you know what I thought during the game? I thought about the Marlins, right? Because the first thing they said about Venezuela, they don't all hit home runs, but they don't strike out. They put the ball in play. They play small ball, and they play good defense. And if you think about, years past Tampa, if you think about what they're trying to do here, they don't want murderers row, right? They don't want 150, 200 strikeouts by their 3, 4, and 5 hitters to get 30 home runs. They're going to play a different style of baseball. And I'm wondering, like, after watching last night's game, I said, if you can get to a series, it's great. I don't know how you get there playing small ball. You know what I mean? Because it seems like during the year, all we talk about is the home runs. And then when it gets to crunch time, when it gets to, the playoffs, when it gets to the meaningful games, then you start talking about pitching and defense.
Look, I was skeptical last year of Bendix anytime he talked, I felt like it was bothering me. But I feel like, he kind of towards the end of the season, as I gave up my predetermined opinion of this man, I think they're putting together something that's eventually, and you always see these World Baseball Classics and you're always like, damn, isn't it crazy that beautiful stadium never gets filled for the Marlins like this? But, the city only supports winners, and I think we're building something for the long term. And I don't know, I hope that one day I'm able to see Lone Depot look the way that it did for these Dominican games, for these Venezuelan games.
Goodness.
It was beautiful.
Hey, it was
beautiful.
Listen, it was beautiful on many aspects.
Absolutely. The talent on the field and off the field was great. But that still doesn't hide the fact that the Miami Heat got their ass kicked by the Charlotte Hornets yesterday. Let's talk about that. How about that?
40
again,
the fourth quarter? Are you kidding me?
Vlad, I started by saying I know what the Heat were doing. I just wish that when you get on a run, right, you have all your weapons to at least see it through. But I think with that nagging injury, especially nagging calf injury, hip injuries, things that, you really need to play basketball, I think giving it a little more rest and err on the side of caution will give them, the health to make a push at the end. And so I was just thinking, they're keeping it close, they in it, but then Charlotte just overpowered them. Wow. And can't believe I'm saying this. Charlotte just overpowered them.
Yeah. True or false? LaMelo Ball is the greatest Charlotte Hornet of all time.
False.
I agree. But yesterday he did set a franchise record. He has as much 30-point and 10+ assist games as every other Charlotte Hornets player combined.
Well, yeah, he has the ball in his hands.
I got to tell you though, that shot looked ugly, but
oh my
damn,
God,
he make a bunch of shots. I mean, he don't jump on his jump shot. He pull up weird. From the logo and don't even jump.
I think that's part of what makes him hard to defend. It's like the Sean Marion shot. Remember how that?
And he's 6'6", 6'7". It doesn't help that either.
Right. So whoever you put on, and then whoever you put in front of him, just he can get his shot.
But I'm worried.
He's sneaky good in that at times he looks unstoppable, right? But then he gets a little 3-point happy, like he will chuck it.
Oh, he's a chucker.
Yeah. But 30 and 10 means you're not necessarily a looter in a riot. Like them guys that have 35 points and 1 assist, those are the guys you could question.
I will say, though, I don't think a player like that would ever work in Miami.
No.
Just because him and Pat Riley are like oil and water. You thought Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley were, butting heads? This man is the absolute epitome of just like
of everything that the Heat,
right. The opposite of what the Miami Heat want to be. He's extremely talented, but you've seen this man driving. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
I would say like certain guys fit certain situations, and he fits that situation, right? Yeah. There are points in the game where he's an assist machine, where he's getting everybody else involved. And then there's 70% of the game where he get his.
Now, the Miami Heat were fresh off of a 7-game win streak, lost to the Magic, lost to the Hornets. Are we back to the normal Heat of just like, all right, we're going to win 2, lose 2?
No, this is going to be bad. I think guys are going to go on a losing streak right now.
You think it's going to be even like it's going to continue?
Yeah, if you lose to the Lakers tomorrow night, that's 3 in a row. I don't see you beating Houston in Houston, and then you got to go. Then you got that big alien coming in on Monday, and they're playing some of the best basketball in the league. And then you got to go to Cleveland for 2 games. This was going to be a tough 7-game stretch where you were hoping at least to go 4-3, possibly the way they were playing 5-2. They've already lost the first 2 games, and it doesn't get any better, and it doesn't get any easier this next week. So
the thing that gives me hope, though, every time we have these conversations about them playing these good teams, right? They amaze us. And so
no, we got fooled by 2 weeks, bro. That's all it is. We got fooled by 2 weeks.
They tricked us. And then an 83. Sprinkling 83 in there.
Sprinkle 83, couple wins. They are who they are, bro. They Playinville. They are Playinville.
That hurts my heart because somewhere deep down inside, I know it's true. It's what I've seen all season. But he's right. The 7-game win streak tricked me. They made me think that the Miami Heat turned the corner. And unfortunately, same old same.
You're a half game up on Atlanta for 7th seed, and Atlanta's the hottest team in the league.
Yeah, what they
right. That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. It's like all these teams in the play-in have gotten hot at different times. Like they never meet each other when they're both hot.
Right. Except for that Orlando game, and we saw what happened on Saturday against Orlando.
The only team that's been relatively consistent over the last month or so has been Charlotte. Because even when we beat them the last time, they still were 7-3 in their last 10. So I would say of all the playing teams, like it's crazy to say, Charlotte has been playing the best basketball the last month or so.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know. Play it. We got it.
I'm just saying. I told you this a long time ago. Oh, no, not Charlotte. That's what Tobes was saying. I'm like, no, Charlotte. Are you watching them? They're playing in the unison. They playing with. This is what a young team together. This is how they look like.
Right.
While the Heat, on the other hand, unfortunately, let's talk about it, Leroy.
Yeah.
Seems like every time 14 and Norm or it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I will tell you why I think it doesn't work. I think it doesn't work because of the defensive side, not necessarily the offensive side. Right? I do believe that that is like the thing that hurts them. Like you have to stagger them, not because of their ability or their talent, not so they can have the ball. You got to stagger them because once you get on the defensive end, if you're not rolling offensively, it's hard to get a stop. And the combination of having and I think the guy who could help all of that if they were to play together is either Bam or Wiggins. If you have Bam, Wiggins, and then you put those two in, you can do something. But they just get, oh my goodness. Like,
they get killed on the boards because, dude, without Bam, they're a small team.
Right. And
they're a small team without
very
Bam.
Small. You got Kalel, you had to put Keyshawn at center, and he looked like he got lost in the trees sometimes. With all that jumping ability, with all that athleticism, you know what he can't be? Taller. but that's the reality.
God can give you all the talent and athleticism.
It's the same thing in watching Davion guard ball. Like Davion could be a dog, he could be a pit bull, but he can't stop that man from shooting. He's 6'7". He gonna always get his shot. Oh, now we talking about basketball. Let me get this in. Y'all want to relive history tonight?
Mm-hmm.
The Heat are off, so we replaying instant.
Oh yeah,
that's we're playing that Bam.
Bam Adebayo's 83-point night versus the Wizards from last week. The action starts at 7 tonight on FM 103 WQAM, the home of the Miami Heat.
Thank you there, Leroy. We are rebroadcasting the great 83-point performance tonight.
And I tell you what, after that first quarter, I thought he was going to score 100. Because they like, are y'all going to play any defense?
Dave's House says the 83 game is a new 72 undefeated season. We're going to be talking about this forever.
I mean, but guess what?
It's the highlight of your season so far.
But
Yeah.
think about this. Like the great thing about sports, right? You have seen something. I don't know if people saw. We only saw replays of Kobe's 81.
No, I saw
Right?
it. I
You
saw
saw it
it.
live?
Yeah, it was on the NBA TV that day. It was.
Oh, I was gonna say you were there because I know you spent some time.
No,
in
I
LA.
wasn't in LA at that time, but
Okay.
I was.
But you know, I saw the highlights of Kobe's game. To see Bam go out, what he had 31 in the first quarter.
30. Yeah.
31 in the first quarter.
I'm like, oh my goodness! Like you saying, oh, they playing the Wizards. I'm gonna watch the first half, see what's up, and then go ahead on about my business. Then he scored 31, and I'm like, dang, now I gotta watch. How many he go get? You know what I'm saying?
I
like,
love the positivity that Leroy's doing. Somebody
I'm
said
trying, because
you've been affected by while
no,
he
no, I haven't. No, I haven't. But Vlad, see, here's the thing with me. People call it being negative, or people call it. What I try to do is keep it real. Like, I honestly felt with Bam not playing, with Wiggins not playing, they're trying to, they don't want to go guys in and out, fighting these nagging injuries for the rest of the season. So they're going to try to get as healthy as they can go on that final run. That being said, their defense hurt. Their defense is hurting without those two guys.
We're going to talk more about the Heat, and we're actually going to get a visit from our boy Alex Donno, who's going to stop by at the end of this hour so we can talk Miami Hurricanes as they prepare for their March Madness appearance. That and much more on the Tobin and Leroy show. Stick around. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. We are live here on a wonderful, wonderful, wet and cold.
Yeah,
How's
that
that
front came through and it's been raining.
What the hell is that?
How is that wonderful? If it's cold.
Because it reminds me of Britain. It's like Britain
wait.
outside.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
Nope.
Okay.
Reminds me of my good old days as an old chap.
You want me to tell you what place I have been that is very similar to that?
What's that?
Seattle.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Cold, wet.
Yeah.
And like an annoying kind of rain. Like it's not really raining. It's just like not hot enough for the other rain to dry off, and maybe you'll get a sprinkle here and there. It's annoying. But anyway, today actually is a good reflection of the first day in post Jaylen Waddle era. We've had little less than 24 hours, but pretty close to it, to react to the trade thus far. And I feel as if the consensus is, you like Jaylen Waddle. He's a good player, but the return that you got for him kind of makes this easy to to swallow. Pause. Just the idea that we were able to get another first rounder, a third rounder. I kind of feel as if, you're not going to get better than that when it comes to trading a number 2 wide receiver. So I don't know. Have you seen any different? What is the consensus from anyone you've talked to?
I would say that to get a first rounder, I think you basically bought a third rounder. Okay. So I think Denver thinks they got a good deal. You think you got a deal because you got additional picks. You got basically a first rounder for a guy who wasn't a number 1. Now that's here. Denver may very well think he can be a number 1. And these things work out in a crazy way, right? I remember when Baltimore shipped me out. I guess they thought that I couldn't be that guy. I ended up in Minnesota and had the best years of my career. So, one, the hardest thing to figure out with Jaylen Waddle is that we all expected when Tyreek went out, and we all said this over and over again, Jaylen got to take that spot. Jaylen got to be the guy, because guess what? Moving into future years, if Jaylen isn't going to be able to fill that void or some of it, then he's not who we thought he was. And guess what happened? Now, what skews all of this is the quarterback play. You understand what I'm saying? And that is where, don't be shocked if he has success somewhere else.
No, I fully expect him to ball out in Denver. But again, like you just mentioned, the same way the quarterback play skewed his performance last year in Miami, I don't know if I trust a quarterback play in Denver. Like, I'm not sure what they're going to be doing in the draft or anything like that.
But here's the difference. The difference is they went out and got Jaylen Waddle. So they already know what role he's going to play. And they're looking at it like this. I'm giving up the 30th pick in the draft for a proven receiver. Is there a receiver that I would have been able to get at 30 that would have been as good as Jaylen Waddle?
No, I'd say. I mean,
You-
like only the future will tell. But as of right now, I'd say no. As of right now, I
Right.
can guarantee Jaylen Waddle is
So
probably better than one.
So Denver's looking at it as with the 30th pick in the draft, we select Jaylen Waddle.
Yeah, and that's a good pick. Essentially,
Not to mention, they don't even have to pay his full salary.
Yeah, very true.
And when you look at what the Dolphins did, the Dolphins are procuring
That's a good word.
draft picks.
Spell that one. Spell that for me.
PR.
No way. No way.
It's
Is it
P-R-O-C-U-R-I.
PER? Huh?
I don't know. I'm just
Procuri.
I'm trying to
It's
play.
PROCURING.
You went to college. Okay. I get it. That's that Michigan education. I see it. So yeah, they are
Vlad,
procuring.
Vlad.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Vlad bailed you out from that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me see.
No, you got it right.
P-R-O-C-U-R-I-N-G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had it right.
All right, thank you. Apologize.
I apologize.
I got you.
All right.
Listen, I apologize. I didn't think you had it in you.
So, like, everybody got what they needed in this trade. Now, here's the kicker. The kicker is that right now that 30th pick is no one. And unlike Denver, they gonna know right away if it was worth it. Miami might not know right away. Because depending on who they draft, depending on who they bring in, depending on, how the quarterback plays, depending on how the offense works, it's going to take a little bit of time. But the fact that they now have, 11 picks?
Yeah, 11 picks, 7 of them within the top 94.
Right.
Got 4 third-rounders, 1 second round, and 2 first-rounders.
Right.
Any chance, everyone's kind of already assumed we're going to take one of those picks to try to replace Waddle or something like that. But any chance that the Miami Dolphins combine these 2 picks to try to sneak into
No. You got too many holes to fill.
Yeah. True.
And when you have all those holes to fill, the one thing that you need is swings at it. So basically, instead of having 3 strikes, you want to have 5 strikes.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fair.
And the more picks you can get, the more lives. Because keep in mind, the success rate of the draft in itself is not great. Periodically, you have these teams that move up and get great quick. And it's because they they have a great draft. If you look at what Detroit did a couple of years ago, 4th rounder, 5th rounder. Amon St. Brown was what, 4th or 5th rounder?
I think 4th. I'm not sure.
So, and those guys worked out right away. So that means that now you have guys on their rookie contracts that you haven't paid, right? Substantially helping your team. Now you can work around that and bring in veterans to fill, voids. And that's kind of what they did.
You can find receivers.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I would say this. Play the draft. Don't go into it thinking you have to have a position because somebody might become available that you think wasn't going to be available. And then you take them. Now, here's the interesting thing. All the teams that need a quarterback above you will probably have a quarterback. What do you say if somebody like Ty Simpson falls in the 2nd round?
Ty Simpson does nothing for me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Here's why he doesn't, but here's why you don't need him to.
All right.
Right? One of the things that you look at Kansas City, you look at Green Bay, the one thing they've always done is no matter where they draft a quarterback, they develop him. Right? So Patrick Mahomes did not play right away. And I've seen more quarterbacks ruined going into bad situations.
I mean, that was Malik Willis in Tennessee. Malik Willis in Tennessee, they got rid of him. They moved on from him because they didn't think that he was the guy. They didn't think that he could take Ryan Tannehill's job.
And keep in mind, he was what, a fourth rounder?
Yeah, he was a fourth rounder.
He was a fourth rounder. So you already said when you drafted him, the man needs development. So now you just going to throw him in there? You asking for trouble. So what did Green Bay do? We'll take him. He's talented. He can do a lot of things. We have a quarterback, but we'll develop him.
Yeah.
Right? So when you look at their history, Brett Favre was a second-round pick by Atlanta. They traded for Brett Favre. He sat behind Magikowski.
Who?
Magic. That's what it is, Magikowski, right?
No clue. Never heard of him.
Yeah, it was right. Exactly. He didn't start when he originally got to Green Bay. He sat for like half the year, 3/4 of the year. Then Brett Favre came in. Brett Favre was there for a long period of time. They drafted Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years. Right? Now you thinking to yourself, why would they sit Aaron Rodgers for this long? But guess what? Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers. Then they drafted Love. Did Love play right away? No. He sat behind Aaron Rodgers. He comes in. Now he's the franchise quarterback. So
they were kind enough to get Malik Willis to that level. So hopefully we can skip that.
I don't know if he's to that level yet.
I guess, yeah, right? You're right. We'll find out.
Because he hasn't, the thing about Love, the thing about Aaron Rodgers, the thing about is with Aaron Rodgers and Love, the way they did it, they groomed him and then they gave him the starting job at the beginning of the year. You look at Favre, he came in late in the season. But it was a plan. It was a plan in which they were going to move on or develop their quarterback and then get him ready to play. And so from that standpoint, like I'm looking at this situation now and saying, don't be surprised if they draft a quarterback. And to me, Ty Simpson, if he would have fallen in the second round, would be one of those guys where you might not play for 2 or 3 years. That's okay. We only invested a second round pick in you. We can develop you.
Second round pick, though.
If I use that as an example. It could be third round. I'm not saying they're gonna take a quarterback in the draft.
Well, let's talk more about the draft.
You know who I would look at?
Who?
That quarterback from Arkansas.
Oh yeah, Taylor Green is my pick. But I mean, obviously, I like mobility. So, and I don't even care if he's good or not. I just want to play with him.
But again, we're looking at this as a development thing.
No, not me. I'm looking at a guy who wants to go fast.
You got to be patient and stick to your guns.
We'll talk more about the draft with our boy Alex Donno, who's going to join us when we come back on the Tobin and Leroy Show. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. We are live here on a Wednesday. We are going to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline to talk to our boy Alex Donno from Locked On Canes podcast. The man, the myth, the legend himself, the guy who I trust for all my Miami Hurricanes knowledge. It's like every time I see you, your Miami Hurricane studios get better, Donno.
I try, man. Hey, Leroy. Hey, Marcos. Hey, Vlad.
What's up?
What's going on,
I'm doing
Donno?
well.
My God, what is that, a 4K camera? This guy's a professional.
I do have a I don't know if there's actual 4K resolution on StreamYard, but I do have the capabilities if we ever get to that point.
Higher technology than the program he's utilizing. This is crazy, folks. This is crazy. Donno, first of all, I hope everything is well with you. Haven't had a chance to speak to you since the heartbreak that was the end of the Miami Hurricanes football season. How have you been since then, sir?
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to kind of dwell on that loss because right after Miami loses to Indiana in that game, and I'm proud of the way the Hurricanes played. Again, I'm not I'm not a big moral victories guy, but I still I was proud of the way it came down to a final possession. But then I didn't have a whole lot of time to sort of marinate in the defeat because from the very next morning, we got all this drama about Darian Mensah, that he was getting sued by Duke. And so it was a really weird thing. And I know a lot of Hurricanes fans felt the same way I did as, a guy who creates content, that it's like right after you lose that game, then you kind of go really quickly into roster mode for the upcoming season because you had to kind of fight to get your next quarterback. So, it was a combination of that. And also, again, most of the national analysts just thought, Indiana was going to beat Miami by 30 the way that they beat Oregon and who else they played, that they were blowing everybody out through the college football playoff. I think the fact that Miami got it down to, an opportunity for a walk-off touchdown at the end, unfortunately ended up being a Carson Beck interception instead. I was really proud of the way the team played, and hopefully that was like the starting point of a team that's now learning how to win. And then the next time they get in that opportunity, they finish the job.
I would say to me, it seemed like Beck's arm was hit or miss. Like he was back well enough to play, but he couldn't call on his arm when he needed to. And there were a lot of times during not just the last game, but during the season where he went to crank one and had nothing. And so I don't hold it against him. I think he did a heck of a job. He just maybe wasn't as healthy as we wanted him to be, right? I mean, come on, think about it. Baseball players, how long it takes them to come back. He's throwing a football. Football's heavier than a damn baseball. So, and I know he's not throwing it as many times, but yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me if in the near future everybody starts talking about the rocket that he has, right? It's just unfortunate. He was good enough to play, but not good enough to excel when he needed to at those moments in the game after throwing the football 30 plus times.
Yeah,
and I think see it because that ball at the end just kind of to it
sailed. Yeah.
It just kind of to it, right?
Yeah. No, I think there's something to what you're saying, Leroy, because if I kind of compare, not that Beck has ever been a guy who lives on the deep ball, but even if you kind of compare what his velocity was at Georgia versus what it was at Miami, which is the clear pre-injury to post-injury timeline, it wasn't quite the same. And I don't think it was a coincidence that when he had his NFL Combine workout, it looked like he was throwing the go routes, better than he was at Miami, because he had a couple of pure months to recover from that, because when he was recovering from that UCL surgery and he missed spring at Miami, but during the time when he was missing spring, he talked about it like his arm was dead for some of that time, coming off the surgery. So he wasn't cleared to throw until May, and then he certainly wasn't 100% at that point. And even when he started to kind of, when the season began, there was probably some fatigue, the fatigue that set in from the middle to the end parts of the year. So I think there's definitely something to that. And even regardless of that, I think this coming season with Darian Mensah, I think Miami is going to have a lot more of a downfield threat just based on the way he plays. And even Beck this past year, playing through whatever that surgery took away from his velocity, he was like pinpoint accurate with the short and intermediate stuff,
Correct.
which is a good sign for his NFL career coming up. But I think with Darian Mensah in 2026, a guy who attempted 86 deep balls last year to lead the nation, I think you're going to see a little bit more of that downfield threat. And when you have guys like Malachi Toney and Cooper Barkate, I'm hoping Miami is able to, throw up some 50, 60-yard touchdown passes, a few more of those than you had this past year.
Right. I would also say, about Beck, the thing that made it deceiving was he only got in trouble when he was pressed because he was forced to have to throw a ball a certain way. But when he wasn't, he made good decisions with the football. The timing was good and things like that. And it sucks. Like, that's when I knew it was time to quit, is my mind was telling my body what we needed to do, and my body couldn't do it physically.
Yeah, it's a great point.
And so mentally, everything is working. You're making good reads. You're seeing the field. You're knowing where to run, and then you ask your body to respond, and it's like, just not quick enough to get there, just not strong enough to get there. And
which
so
had to be tough for you, Leroy, because I would imagine the older you get, just the wiser you get. But then it's like when your body starts to betray you, you're thinking, man, at 35, if I had like my 22-year-old, physical responses with my 35 wisdom, I would be perfect. But unfortunately, that doesn't work out that way.
You know what I tell people? I tell people that a football career is like a roller coaster, the old school roller coasters. And what people don't realize is when you go up and make that initial drop, that is the fastest that roller coaster will go. What happens is the turns get tighter, giving you the impression that you're going faster, but you're not. And that's kind of when you play football, you play a sport. When you're younger, is that initial drop. Athletically, you're gifted, you're making plays, you're able to just be athletic and do things that other people can't, and that separates you. As you get older, you start slowing down, but you get smarter. And it looks like you're still maintaining the same speed, the same cuts, the same moves, but in actuality, you're smarter, you're making them quicker, you're being more decisive. And it looks as if though you're going that same speed as you were 5 or 6 years ago, when in actuality, you're smarter, you're reading defenses, you're doing things like that. Then it gets to the end of the career where all those smarts don't match that athletic ability that you have left. And you're just moving too slow to keep up with what your brain is asking.
That makes sense.
Donno, you had the combine come and go already. The draft is around the corner. Are there any projections as to where some of these Miami Hurricanes players that we fell in love with last season are going? The Rueben Bains, the Maui Noahs, even Carson Beck, who's going to be in the later rounds. Any projections or ideas as to where they may go?
Yeah, and you mentioned your combine is come and gone. We got pro day coming up at Miami on Monday, so I'm going to be covering that, and so hopefully that gives not only the guys who are going to be drafted for sure, but all the outgoing seniors will be participating. So hopefully some of the guys who are projected undrafted free agents can raise their stock as well. And yeah, listen, the feelings are definitely mixed on. If Rueben Bain, does his stock go down much, if at all, with those measurements that everybody's talking about? I still feel like Rueben Bain Jr. should and will be a top 10 pick, despite the fact that he's like the first percentile when it comes to arm length at defensive end. I just think you can't overthink it when you watch the tape. I think the tape should speak louder than the measurements.
Who goes first, Maui or Bain?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it all depends on how much stock GMs put in the arms. Like if you kind of take that fear out of the equation, Bain should and will go first. But I think the X factor is that it only takes like one or two GMs to get scared off about the arm length if they draft in the top 10. So I think CC Maui Noah, there's really nothing negative you could say about him as an offensive tackle prospect. I mean, I guess maybe the only thing is he doesn't have collegiate experience at left tackle would be the one thing. He's more than capable.
They're thinking about him and considering him as a left tackle?
I think perhaps I think he's a right tackle. I mean, just that's where he played full time for 3 years at Miami. Like he's got left tackle experience in high school and whatever, but that's obviously not the same deal. But I think he's capable of playing left tackle if that's what a team needs. But as a prospect, like there's no negative. CC's got the measurables and the intangibles, and he's got that freakish strength that he has. So I think CC maybe will go first if the concern over the arms for Bain. You've got Akheem Mesidor, who a lot of people have sneaking into the
That's the thing that I was curious about.
Yeah.
If you look at Mesidor, who played very similar to Bain, not as good, but if his measurables are better, could we have a kind of a situation as what we had with the last two Russians with who's the last two? One went to Buffalo that ended up going ahead of
Russo.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, who went ahead of
see what I'm saying? Because
Jalen Phillips,
we thought Jalen Phillips was going to go first.
Yeah.
And Russo ended up going first.
Yeah.
Now Phillips has had more success. So if they just look at the measurables, I don't think the age thing. I think people should get over the age thing because
that's the thing with Mesidor is he's 24. Yeah.
You're drafting guys like if they give you 7 years, you win, and that's 32.
Yeah. So Mesidor, the age will be maybe a consideration, but like Leroy said, it probably shouldn't be. He should be a first round pick. So I think you got 3 in the first round there. I think Keontae Scott is someone who should go second day. Markel Bell is someone who will probably be a third day pick, but I think he's got second day potential. I think somebody might get a steal there. Carson Beck, of course, who I think can be a very serviceable NFL quarterback, a possible starter or a reliable backup in the league, is going to get drafted. And a guy I'm always championing, who I think is going to be the steal of the late rounds, is Inez Cooper at offensive guard. He, I guess technically didn't have as good of a senior season this past year as his junior season, committed maybe a few too many penalties. But Inez Cooper, guys, he's got a nasty streak. He's a road grader, really tough run blocker, and he's a leader. Like he's been one of the low key leaders of the locker room for the past 4 years. So I think that's another one whoever gets him probably in the later rounds is going to end up having a guy who's going to be an offensive guard starter in the league for a decade. I think he's that sort of player.
Right.
Well, Donno, I know you're a busy man. I appreciate you taking time to join us. Right before we go, because I know we're up against it, one quick prediction. How far does the Canes basketball team make it in the tourney?
Man, I'm hoping Sweet 16. It's gonna be a tough first couple of games for them. I think they should beat Mizzou late Friday night. Two very similar teams, but I would take Miami's stars of Malik Reneau, Trey Donaldson, Shelton Henderson. I think I just trust them a little bit more than Missouri's top-end players. But the X factor is you have to basically play a road game because it's in St. Louis against Mizzou, which is ridiculous. The lower seed gets essentially home court. But listen, I think this team has limitations because they don't shoot very well from three. The perimeter defense isn't great, and the free throw shooting is not, the free throw shooting is not good enough for them, but they are gritty. They are tough. They rebound very well. They score very well in the paint, and they've got a bunch of players, even though they came from other schools, with NCAA tournament experience, like Trey Donaldson, who's been at the tournament for the past 3 years. So I think the Canes get through tonight, maybe win another game. So I'm hoping for a Sweet 16 for Jay Lucas in his first year.
That would be he has to be considered for Coach of the Year, right?
Well, he already lost ACC Coach of the Year to John Shire, which is so lazy. It's like, all right, he's the coach of Duke. We'll just give him Coach of the Year, where Miami was the most improved team in all of Division I from winning percentage last year versus this year. So I thought Lucas got robbed. We'll just give it to the coach of the best team. Lazy.
Robbed, definitely, Donno. And I appreciate you stopping by, giving your Canes wisdom to us. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We will return with the next hour of Tobin and Leroy. Donno, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day and your spring break, please.
Oh, yeah, man. My son's on spring break. We're having a good week. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, Donno.
We'll be back with more Tobin and Leroy. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Went a little long there with our boy Alex Donno, but I don't know, Leroy, how's that shirt feeling? Feeling like may have to change it to some interview shirts later on. But let's go ahead and get you your headlines. Your headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Get your pricito from our boys over at Doral Hyundai. You can visit us at Doral Hyundai or DoralHyundai.com. WBC, the World Baseball Classic, came to an end yesterday with Venezuela victorious over the United States team. It was a strange, not necessarily strange, but it definitely was a night and day comparison of this American team and the Venezuela team, just in regards to vibe. Like the American team, the entire time, I felt like anytime I heard anything about them, it was just how corny they were, or just how they didn't really have a good vibe.
They don't have. They saying they were too intangible. No
Yeah.
flavor,
No swag.
Oh, that's it. All right, that's it. Great. Move on.
That's
They
it.
lost the
Like
World
that
Baseball
doesn't.
Classic.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
You had some of the most prolific hitters in the game that couldn't hit.
Right, because there was great pitching. You
Right.
saw a lot of
And
teams
that-
with
right.
bullpen, which is what happens in the postseason Major League Baseball. Good pitching is always going to be good hitting.
Correct.
So
Yeah, it was a fun time though. I think the last one that I remember, Shohei versus was it Trout?
Mike Trout.
Yeah, see that what an amazing ending there. Good game last night. So it's World Baseball Classic always lives up to the hype, but finally came to an end yesterday. We can focus on the Major League season beginning next Friday, I believe.
Yes, the Marlins kick off their season next Friday.
You gonna be there, Vlad?
Huh?
You gonna be
Am
there?
I gonna be there?
Yeah,
I don't know. I
Okay.
gotta talk to my attorney.
Fair, not a problem. Other news: the Miami Heat gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter and only put up 18 as the Charlotte Hornets dominated.
Bro.
That's bad, bro. It's bad.
bad.
Kobe White yesterday looked like Kobe Bryant. He put up like 24 points in 20 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was of course on the absence of Bam with some calf soreness. I feel like the Miami Heat have been dealing with injuries all season, and I feel like they've been dealing with injuries for the past couple of years. But who isn't at this point? Whether you do load management or you don't, I just feel like we're always dealing with, as soon as this guy gets healthy, we'll be good. But it seems like the Miami Heat, the only thing they're consistent at is being inconsistent.
Well, the
And,
one thing that we've learned is the most important guy needs to be healthy, and that's Bam.
Yeah, you know what though? I'm not gonna lie to you.
Even when Bam was there, they were still inconsistent.
That's what I'm saying. Vlad kind of painted the next 5 games for me, and I'm not necessarily going into it with the most optimistic mindset, especially with Bam's cap winners.
See, I'm upset with yesterday's loss because the loss to Orlando, they got mind control over the Miami.
That's 5 in a row, bro.
5 in a row. But even like the last 2 seasons, even the games, like Leroy said the other day, even the games that the Heat won, it was always nail biter, close games. Like for some reason, the Heat are just not a good matchup for Orlando. The Orlando's not a good matchup for the Heat.
Yeah,
right.
But you've owned Charlotte.
Yeah,
even without Bam, Charlotte was first game out of their first game back home from a West Coast trip. You lost that game against Orlando. I needed to see if this is just, it was just a little, little bump on the road. You could win this game, start playing better. Nobody will remember that loss to Orlando. But you get handled by Charlotte. Now you're starting to say, okay, that 7-game winning streak was just a mirage. It was.
I wouldn't say it was just a mirage, but I would say that the run that they went on wasn't an indication that they were turning the corner because they lost to a team that they should have beat. Granted, they didn't have their players, but I mean, Charlotte has been the hottest team in the East. So I don't know how to, view that.
But
You know,
then, if you look at all right, Charlotte's hottest team in the East, Orlando. That means when they start playing better competition,
True.
they don't play too well.
Which does everything to say that they're a playing team. Right.
See, and that's what bothers me with this 7-game win streak, though, because of this is how tricky it was. You get wins against the Rockets, you get wins against the Hornets, you get wins against the Pistons, but then you look at the other half of that, and you have the Nets 2 times, the Wizards.
Yeah, but those wins against Houston and those are big wins.
That's what I'm saying. It makes me feel like maybe they turned the corner, and then.
So my question is this, and I've always said this about this team: the thing that absolutely terrifies me about them. They could beat any team and lose to any team. And it doesn't matter what the record is. That's the most frustrating thing, because that is the epitome of average. Like who you're playing. The only team you have any consistency against, and it's not good, is Orlando. They're a bad matchup. Other than that, you've beat Houston. You've beat Detroit. Then you get crushed by Charlotte. They're not a bad team, but they're a team that's on the same path as you. So how are you going to separate?
I don't want to be on the same path as the Hornets, but unfortunately I am.
Here's the problem. If you're going to be in the top 6, then you got to beat the teams that are in the play-in with you. If not, then you're going to be in the play-in.
In other news as well, the NFL world continues to react to Jaylen Waddle's trade. Consensus seems to be fair trade. I'm going to miss you. Fair trade.
I would say both teams feel good about the trade.
Yeah, I think it was, and one of those, because usually it's kind of like, one team feels fleeced. Very rarely is it like, no, this seems good. This seems like an adequate. Both teams happy here. We're all good.
I think every team got what they wanted. Dolphins wanted draft picks. They wanted a little bit of relief, cap relief. They got it. The Denver Broncos wanted a receiver who has proven. I don't know how proven.
I can't name one Denver Bronco on the offensive side of the ball.
Cortland Sutton.
You know what? If you gave me time to think about it, yeah, probably. I maybe I would have pulled out
Bo Nix.
No. See, I give Bo Nix for sure, because I think so low of Bo Nix that like I know that he's a quarterback there, but I just don't acknowledge him as an NFL quarterback. I see him as a stopgap. But look, I'm not the evaluator here, so I guess he can definitely. Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl. What the hell do I know?
Nothing.
But yeah, okay. Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix. Can you give me one more? I feel like
Troy Franklin.
No idea what that is. You know what that is, Leroy?
No.
Well,
Yeah,
he was good.
I'm sure he was good. And even on the defensive side, like obviously you can name
Nick Bottino.
That's the guy who I feel like, did I say his name before this year? I had no idea who the hell he was before.
Defensive player of the year, and seed of one of the greatest Miami Dolphins corners. I mean, they just have Patrick Tan Jr.
Yeah.
What Denver has done is their defense was so good that it allowed their offense to grow during the course of the season, and they got progressively better.
These guys are saying fake names in the chat. What's an Al Wilson or an RJ Harvey? These are fake names.
No, it's not. That's the running back.
These are fake names, dude.
And Al Wilson's a defensive player.
Al Wilson,
you don't know.
I play. I don't know who Al Wilson is. I'm not sure. These are all fake names, dude. I don't know, but
no, these are all real names. And these are all players that are on the Denver Broncos team that went to the AFC Championship game and could have won that. It could have won the AFC if their quarterback didn't get hurt. There you go.
I know that there has been some chatter, of course, with Tua going to Atlanta and Kyler Murray going to Minnesota, and Sam Darnold just winning the championship. Maybe this is the era of the mediocre quarterback. Maybe you don't need like a great, there was eras in which every year it was, Brady, Breeze, Manning. And now, I'm throwing out names like Darnold, Knicks, May. Like maybe that's the new formula. Maybe the NFL is transitioning to where you just need a really good ass defense, which means maybe we can get it done with Malik Willis.
By the way, they're not transitioning to that.
Been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, defense wins championships for sure. But you got to admit, we were on a streak for quite some time in which it was either Brady, Manning, Breeze, or another Hall of Famer, Roethlisberger.
Right.
That was like leading the charge. And, we had a nice little run with Mahomes. But I feel like last year was an example that, anyone could win. The league seemed more competitive than it ever was. Okay, Dade South just totally making up names. What is a Dwayne Carswell? These are fake.
These are real names. They're just former Broncos. He's just going.
Going
to the archive. Yes,
I was like, there's no way, dude.
Yeah, he's saying like Denver Broncos when Dan Reeves was the head coach.
Oh my god, Dan Reeves, another fake name.
No,
Dan
Reeves. Are you kidding me?
You're an idiot.
That's fair.
Hey,
that's fair.
I can't be mad at. I can't say nothing negative about Dan Reeves. He was the coach at Atlanta.
Sure, he was. Wait.
So you say Atlanta?
I was gonna say you can't say nothing nice or nothing.
Because they beat us. I said I can't say nothing negative. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to give him his flowers. He was doing the Dan 30 bird on our field.
Well, I mean, the kicker missed the kick.
Marcos, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You think those Viking players, after Anderson missed, you didn't think they were trying to line them up and beat them up and stuff like that?
Oh, you got it. Oh, come on, bro. Leroy is not telling us, but they slashed his tires.
I'm telling you.
Come on, bro. You got it. You missed the kick.
The craziest thing was after the game, the safety dropped a pick in the end zone at the end of the game. Randall Cunningham missed Randy, who was wide open in overtime. We had our chances. And to point out him and not acknowledge the other misplays that could have also ended the game.
So no one was immature about it. Everyone was just like, oh, I understand.
The most immature that we've all been is that if the fate of your season is in the hands of a kicker, that's your fault.
I don't like it. To this day, I would have beef with that kicker.
No.
Remember the crazy Saints play where they had the many laterals and, to end the season, I think it was John Carney or something like that came out and missed the extra point. Come on, bro. You can't talk to a guy. You can't talk to
you had one job. That's different though. That's different.
How long was the field goal that your guy missed?
Mind you, he never missed all season.
He never missed a field goal all year.
He chose this.
This is the time.
So he was 35 out of 36.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And then you know what sucks? You want me to tell you what sucks?
You lost.
And I don't hold any.
No, it seems like you're holding something, but no, tell us.
Next year, the next year, they say he's had 33 consecutive field goals because they don't count the ones from the playoffs.
Oh god!
And I'm like, we all sit on the sidelines going. I'm like, did they really watch the rest of that season? It was really the only time where, like, somebody actually, I'm like, hey, where y'all been?
All right, look, Dade South is totally making up names.
No, he's not. He's just saying Jumpy Gathers is a former Bronco.
This is crazy.
No,
John Lynch.
They're just
No,
going.
John Lynch for sure.
Yeah, they're just
Ed
going with-
McCaffrey.
I mean, I'm surprised nobody said Shannon Sharp yet.
No one
Nobody
said
said Bobby
Sharp.
Humphries.
We're even going to Von Miller. What are we
Rod
doing here?
Smith.
Well, I
Ricky
don't need.
Nattil. I haven't seen that. Mark Jackson. Did anybody know there was a wide receiver called Mark Jackson? He played for the
No.
Denver Broncos. Yeah.
What
Hey.
about the
Hey.
best Bronco ever, Tim Tebow?
No, I'm gonna
Hey,
tell
Jay-
you what.
At J
They-
5160,
They had a damn
51,
safety. They had a safety that was about 230. They used to cause
Steve
havoc.
Atwood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't no small dude. Oh my goodness. Him and Joey Browner. Joey Browner wore the same arm stuff that Barry Bonds wore to bat.
Oh yeah, Ruben Bain does that.
Pull up a
with the
picture of
elbow
Joey
thing.
Browner and look at that arm thing he was using as a shield.
I got a
Joey
fanboy,
Browner.
guys.
What?
What do you?
Yeah, Jay, what's his name? His dumbass name?
Oh my god,
Just
I'm seeing it now.
Yeah, he's a fanboy. What's his dumbass name? Dumbass, what's your
Jay-
name?
JR.
J5167? JR
Why?
5167?
Is a fan of you?
I don't know. Hey man, I'm taking already, man. I'm sorry. I like girls. Stop harassing me.
Why was his elbow thing so damn thick?
I
What
don't
the hell
know.
did he have like a broken something that he was trying to protect? Listen, these Vikings in the 90s were an amazing amount of pads.
Yep.
We'll talk more about them.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we will look at the day today. Let me make sure there's no Miami Heat birthdays that I'm missing, but we will celebrate all celebrity birthdays and find out what national day is today when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tobin and Leroy show. Let's groove tonight. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go, Leroy. Oh, wow.
The only ones I saw a special with them in LA. It was on TV, and they still got it, even though Earth and Wind are no longer with us. We only got fire.
We got fire.
And Philip Bailey, he had them. He got one dread.
God.
He need
Time
to
to
just
let it
let that go.
So he's hanging on by a dread.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a point. Time now for day to day.
Oh, before you do that,
Yes, sir.
relive history tonight. We're replaying an instant classic. Bam Adebayo's a 3-point night versus the Wizards from last week. The action starts at 7 tonight on FM 103 WQAM, the home of the Miami Heat.
That is right. Relive history tonight. The historic Bam Adebayo game will be live on air tonight.
Is there, I'm trying to think, is there, I know we replayed playoff games. I know we replayed like anniversary games, right? I'm just trying to think that I guess replaying this. I was just trying to think if we
were gonna replay it at some point in this future.
No, I know.
It's
I
a way
figured. Like, you got
it's a
that's
way to
history.
save. It's a way to save.
It's history.
No, as well, but it's also a way for the station to save.
I was going to say, I feel like it's too early to replay it.
I mean, it's just the following week, you know. It's just,
what are we doing here? But hey, you know what? Hey, God bless them. Let's go Heat. We will be.
I would say this: there's nobody that got like me. So y'all
somebody's
know
gonna be
me.
listening to the radio tonight. Like, he's going for 83 again. Today, March 18th, we got these celeb birthdays. Want to wish a happy birthday to Adam Levine from Maroon 5. Turns.
he moves like
47.
Jagger.
Moves like Jagger, indeed. 47 years old.
I like the one where he does with Christina Aguilera.
What's that?
He does the same song, but he does it with her.
Oh, I got you. Happy birthday to the Queen.
Which one?
Queen Latifah?
Latifah.
Okay.
Yeah, 56 today.
It's crazy because she does that Equalizer. That's a pretty good show.
She looks good for 56.
Black don't crack.
That's very true. Solo Sikoa. Do you know who that is?
Hey, that's the Usos' little brother. He's
Yes,
a WWE wrestler.
Yeah, I figured you would know for sure, but I'm sure Leroy has no idea who the hell that is.
You're
No,
correct.
But guess what? Leroy wouldn't say anything to him if you saw him.
No.
Leroy would be like, okay. Yeah. He's not small. He's not short. He's a big dude.
What about this guy? This guy was on top of the comedy world for a while, and then just like everyone decided they hated him. Dane Cook turns 54 today.
You know what's
They
crazy
didn't
about
hate him. He's just not that funny. They just realized he wasn't.
They just realized
Well,
after a while.
And I think he was a joke stealer too.
one of
really?
the things about comedians is that a lot of comedians, especially black comedians, are funny in their everyday life. Like, without jokes, they're just funny individuals. Dane Cook always seemed like he couldn't just riff and be funny.
Well, he's not black.
I know, but
True.
I'm just saying
True.
there's other guys who could.
But Michael Finley is Irish.
Yeah,
There's other guys like who could always be funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Where it's like comes natural. It seems like they're not trying
Right,
to
like-
be a character.
Right. Like if you ever listen to an interview with Everybody Loves Raymond, was it Raymond? What's his name?
Oh, the brother.
No, not the brother.
Oh,
Not the old. The brother sucks. He's
Yeah,
not funny
that's
at
true, isn't it?
all.
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
the-
Tony Rock?
No. He's talking about the
Everybody Loves
Ray
Raymond.
Romano.
Ray
Hey,
Romano.
Oh,
That
okay.
dude,
For the
if
record,
you
I
hear
love
interviews
Tony
with
Rock.
him, it's just something about that show and his life that, you know, there's a lot of truth to it. And when you hear him talk, he tells stories. He's a funny dude.
Yeah, I did have like a small Dane Cook run, but like, you know, well, I was like 10 or 11 at his peak. So it's like, of course it was that funny.
But he was doing everything for like what?
Yeah,
3-4 years.
Yeah, for sure. I seen him on he had a couple movies. I think he even starred in one of the movies too.
Right.
Yeah, one of those romantic comedies.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, that's pretty much it for all notable birthdays. Switching on over to National Day today. I'm not sure how you guys feel about this. National Sloppy Joe Day.
So what? Spaghetti Day?
No, Sloppy Joe's. You don't know what Sloppy Joe's is? You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
As a kid, we look forward to that Sloppy Joe night. Right now, I could give a rat's ass about a Sloppy Joe.
Yeah, because as a kid, your taste buds weren't.
Yeah.
Wasn't that, you know, it wasn't.
But I don't. You know what it is?
You eat anything.
You know what it is?
I don't think you're allowed to eat a
I
Sloppy
find
Joe's.
Sloppy Joes are too messy.
Well, I mean, it's not called neat and tidy Joe. I think, for the record, though, I'm going to add this to my list of things men cannot do. I don't think as a man you can make yourself a Sloppy Joe. Now you're making a Sloppy Joe for some children, and you go ahead and say, "Fine, I'll put myself. You know, I'll put together one for myself." Or you eat a little bit, totally fine. But you cannot, as a man, say, "Hey, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to cook some Sloppy Joe." Just can't do it. Put that on my list for banning.
What's a red flag?
That's a red flag for sure. That is a red flag. Put that on my list for 2026. All red flags. Sloppy Joe for sure. If like that's not weird to you, bro. Like your boys like, yo, come over. You know, we're gonna have a couple beers, and then they're like, you know, wings, steak, ribs. But like, if someone's like, yo, come over, we'll have some Capri Suns and Sloppy Joes. It's like, what are we doing here, sir? What exactly is going on? You can't do it.
Hey,
yeah.
Listen,
that's right up there with having a Christmas list.
Let me tell you something. Everybody who come over to my house, if I say we having food, you know what you getting. You ain't getting no Sloppy Joes.
Look, I would never suspect there to be Sloppy Joes on the Leroy Horde spread, but I'm sure if for some reason you decided to make it, for some reason it'd be pretty good.
No, because I don't even like it. If I'm making something like that, it's going on a hot dog.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
just be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's what we do at my house. You know what that is?
That's good stuff right there.
That is called cowboy candy ribs.
Cowboy candy ribs. Why is it called that? What is the cowboy candy?
You build the sauce is called cowboy candy, but it has jalapenos, it has bacon.
Wait, what's it called? Cowboy what?
Cowboy candy ribs.
Yeah, another word for Brokeback Mountain.
Okay.
Brokeback Mountain ribs. I know they took a long time to cook. That's all I'm gonna say, but they were delicious. And for those who don't like jalapenos, they're not spicy. The jalapenos are flavor, and when you cook the sauce and you cook the bacon and everything in them, it cooks the kind of the heat out of them.
Date South says pulled pork sandwich is adult Sloppy Joes. Do we agree to that?
Yeah, but I don't like pulled pork sandwiches.
What?
I don't. No.
Shmita said if you're inviting people over for Capri Sun, you want to fight law.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. Here's the thing. It's hit or miss when I go over people's house, right? Because their definition of a spread, and people that been over my house know what my definition of a spread is.
Oh yeah.
And here's how I know when something ain't kosher. You go over their house and you go in and they start handing you finger food.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap.
Right? I'm like,
yeah. I get that same.
I say they must want me to fill up on these little puff pastries or whatever, which I don't like. Because when I go over somebody else, I'm going to tie my feed bag on. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Usually, though, Vlad, people come over my house, they know what they're gonna have when they get there. I let them know.
Yeah.
We got some chicken, we got some ribs, we got some
But
hot
also
dogs.
knowing you, Leroy, and where you're from, we're expecting a spread.
Yeah,
we're
now
expecting to leave the house.
Now my wife has some friends.
Full.
My wife has some friends from Louisiana, but the wife is from Louisiana. And she said, "When we gonna have a crawfish boil?" So, like, she's already,
That's had the bag with like all the stuff in there, the corn and all that stuff. Or
no, that's what you get at these BS restaurants in
oh,
Florida.
okay, all right.
Dude, I'm talking about. First of all, you cooking in a trough.
Oh,
right.
Whoa.
And you got corn, you got sausage, shrimp, potatoes, all kind of vegetables in it. Then you put the crawfish in, and then you take it out, let it sit, marinate in the spices for a minute, and then you just dump it all on the table, and everybody just have at it.
Should let Robbie the degenerate eat your food right before he takes his walk. He should be full for a good 2 days if he eats your food.
Is he taking another walk?
Robbie, well, let me tell you something.
Where is he going?
He's gonna. I think he's going from Key West to Lone Depot Park.
Is he? At this
he's
point,
walking to. I think he's walking from the Keys to Lone Depot to be there for opening day or opening night.
Key West to Miami, 150 miles. In
it starts
days.
today. As a matter of fact, I'm sorry. I thought it was tomorrow. It starts today at noon.
Oh, 17 minutes.
17 minutes.
Oh, we got to check in with our boy. This is great. No, this is amazing.
That weather is not conducive to him to be out there on that bridge.
Better bring a poncho,
That's true.
Papo.
That is very true.
You better get some ponchos.
What's the farthest, Vlad? What's the farthest?
And wear some shoes. Don't be wearing no Crocs or any sandals, bro. It's wet.
No,
out
he
there.
had his walkers.
All right, cool.
He had some walkers. But I don't know. Yeah, I can't walk. I got a perfectly good car.
That's fine. I know you're doing
158 miles. Dude, think about this. You could walk basically from my house to Fort Myers, across Alligator Alley, make the turn, go up to Fort Myers. That's about how far that is.
Well, if you break it down, 158 miles over 10 days, about 16 miles a day almost. That's essentially.
Oh, you're smart.
Something. Smart. If it's divisible by 10, baby, I got it. But if you're going from where we live, Leroy, that's essentially almost like walking to the Citadel every day for 10 days. Like every day he's doing 15 miles minimum.
Man,
every day.
First of all, you might not get here safely.
No, yeah,
there's some sketchy areas that you got to walk through.
Absolutely.
Especially if we was in the old building. Ooh.
Yeah, no, for sure. 441 at a certain time is not walkable.
Yeah. Which you could stop. You could get you some Popeyes and then go to the Pleasure Emporium.
Yeah, absolutely. One-stop shop.
The Mega Tits.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will wrap up the second hour of the show. Stay tuned for more Tobin and Leroy. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. What song is that, Vlad? What song was that? Had a nice beat, but I didn't catch the.
What took you forever to get back on?
Yes, I was enjoying the music.
Okay,
but I was trying to figure out what it was. Janet? No, I didn't. Yeah, I was like, this is a funky little bass line here.
Oh, this is the joint, man. That album was unbelievable.
Really? I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never really. Now that I think about it, what was Janet even doing at the Justin Timberlake Super Bowl thing? What song was she doing?
I don't know what they were doing, but he decided to disrobe her.
We saw me and my boy Metcalf. We was backstage for one of her concerts in Cleveland, and she's very, very, very like shy. It's crazy, right? They introduced us to her, and she was like, and then went out there and just tore it up.
Look, maybe I'm ignorant in this sense. I may be saying something that's going to offend a lot of people, but is Janet Jackson overrated?
No.
I'm gonna smack the amphibian out of you, bro.
Fair, understandable. I understand she's an icon, but if she wasn't Michael Jackson's sister,
that's Penny. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Move on.
Okay. Hey, it's fine. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
-1
for audacity.
Like if she was like Janet Mitchell, would we still think like she's
still Penny?
No, because guess what?
Yeah.
You have to understand when Michael was in her heyday, she was an actor.
That's probably
so she was on Good Times. So we didn't even consider her to be an artist at that time. So we thought, to be honest with you, back then we thought her thing was going to be acting.
Yeah.
Then she came out with an album, and we were like, she was shy on the show.
Which one? Which show?
Good Times.
Well, yeah, she was playing the young Penny, but then she was beautiful Charlene in Different Strokes.
Yeah.
Todd Bridges.
See, you know what though? This is where your view is getting skewed here, Vlad.
Why is my view getting skewed?
Because you're in love with her.
She was a musician, even though we know it was in her blood.
I think she's a talented actress. I'm not sure what the proper term is nowadays, but I can't name. But then again, I couldn't name Denver Broncos, so maybe I can't name anything. I can't name 3 Janet Jackson songs.
Yeah.
Really?
I can't name one.
You know what I love about Shmitha? Shmitha acts like he's brand new, like he's just born like yesterday. Fool, you're old. Shut up.
TV before he said, "Tell us more about TV before cable was invented."
No.
Yeah. Tell what are you?
Penny had to watch out for that iron.
He's funny, but come on. He acts like he's Ponce de Leon or something. Like he's got the fountain of youth. Shut up.
Oh, look, that's the second St. Augustine mention we've gotten in 2 days. I'm not sure what's going on with us. we just apparently love St. Augustine.
Yeah, it's a good place to visit.
Historical.
Also, the high school I went to.
Oh,
that's a fake St. Augustine though.
Yeah.
That's not the real one.
We had a lot of famous people go to that school. Only 600 kids in it.
I was surprised when you told me that you and Marshall Faulk grew up in the same area.
Yeah. He went to a high school, Carver, which was in the Ninth Ward.
It's safe to say he's the best running back out of your ward.
Yeah. Yeah, clearly.
I would say clearly now.
No, clearly.
Right.
You go look at his numbers. I ain't even trying to. I ain't gonna even fake it.
Nah, I gotta look at his numbers now. I mean, I know he was on the cover of Madden, but I gotta see the numbers now. Marshall Faulk. Nah, that's someone I can name. He's good.
No,
just a measly 12,000 yards rushing.
What about the receiving yards?
Oh God,
was he an MVP? I'm just
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
doesn't he have the record for most 2,000-yard seasons? Christian McCaffrey might have it now.
Oh my God, he had 1,000 yards receiving in 1999.
Yeah, so
That
did
is-
Roger Craig back in the days. It's not. It's
Roger Craig was the first one to go 1,000.
Yeah. Congratulations to him. Join.
But what's crazy that offense.
Get into the Hall of Fame.
Speaking of Hall of Fame, you seen your boy Gastineau?
What about
He had like a hearing or something like that about, I think the that video that came out with him and Brett Favre where he was like approaching him or something like that, and like
talking
mad at
about
him.
you ruined his life. Talking about he gave up a sack. So he's saying he should have stood up and took the hit.
No, he said he shouldn't just get sacked. That's it, basically, because his whole livelihood, what he's known for, is having that sack record, and the fact that Strahan took it away from him. Nobody's gonna remember nobody remembers the guy that set the record if somebody breaks it. They always gonna remember the guy that has the record.
Just like what happened this past year, when
right.
Yeah.
So then that means he would have just stepped up to who was the one that took the sack? It was Rodgers, right? It was Aaron Rodgers that took the sack against Myles Garrett.
I think so.
Yeah, so I guess he would have just ran up on Aaron Rodgers.
It's something about these Green Bay quarterbacks is
in
just
an ayahuasca trip. He would have messed up his ayahuasca trip. Like, hey man, why you gave up that sack to Myles Garrett and messed up my record?
I think like it's a bad look, right? Because everybody else who has had a record and somebody's broken it, they have been like, well, all records are bound to be broken. I'm glad to have had it that long, and good for him. He's a great player, and they'll go that route, right? Mark Gastineau is basically questioning the greatness, of who had the record before after him.
Strahan,
Michael Strahan, right?
Well, in this clip, that went viral, he tells Brett Favre, "You hurt me, Brett." And, that's the thing that went viral. And apparently he tried to sue ESPN for $25 million over the 30 for 30 documentary, saying that it was edited to make him look, or it was edited unfairly and deceptively, and that his name, image, and likeness was used without his permission. So he was trying to sue ESPN for $25 million. He's still trying to come up off that.
And guess how much he's going to get?
I mean, he's financially hurting too. So
no, the judge threw it away.
Right.
He's getting not a dime, unfortunately. But
I mean, it's a bad look.
It is, yeah, and obviously they weren't paid to the level that they are today. So this sack record could be something that could have taken them, a source of income, like you were saying. Essentially, you go to various places and talk. They don't want to speak to the second most.
No, but they want to speak to a Hall of Famer. So he's not a Hall of Famer. That's his only claim to fame.
Right.
No, so that's what it is. All right.
We're gonna take a break, and when we come back,
now you got to sign all those things. Second place.
We'll come back with more Tobin and Leroy when we come back. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. 12 o'clock hour on the program. Tobin out, but he will be returning tomorrow, allegedly. Leroy in, Vlad in, J-Fig behind the scenes, holding it down. Let's go ahead and get some headlines for you. These headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Get your pricito over at Doral Hyundai. Make sure you stop by or visit us at doralhyundai.com. As we've mentioned multiple times, Venezuela wins the World Baseball Classic. Did you guys see the scene in Venezuela by any chance? And no, I'm not talking about Doral or Weston.
Weston, I love Weston.
Yeah, no, I meant actually in Venezuela. As you can imagine, they were going wild. This is what it looked like over there. I'm not sure what part necessarily. I'm not necessarily familiar with that area, but I just know it looks pretty lit. I'm going to save the headphones users from the screaming. But as you can see here, looks like a fun party. Looks like a fun party for sure.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. Yeah, good
I think
for them
there's
for sure.
one of
God
the
bless
things that
Anywho,
I noticed about
your Miami Heat.
Wait. What's going on? Because you're cutting each other. You're clipping them.
Oh, I would say one of the things that I've noticed about world sports is that certain sports are enjoyed more by other countries. Success in other sports. Like if the US won, I don't think you would have got that same energy from US.
No. I mean, one country's a superpower and the other isn't. So the fact the fact that they're able to produce some great baseball talent to get to the major leagues, but just looking at that lineup, you're still facing. It doesn't matter if that was the American B team, C team, or D team. It just so happened that they had some of their best players on the team. It's always going to be an upset when if you beat the US in any sport other than soccer.
Right.
Yeah, just based off of overall resources.
Right.
I'm not sure they have the practice facilities in Venezuela that some of these kids are playing at, 10, 11 years old.
And this is their Olympics to them.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And I'm not sure how good they are in soccer. This is their World Cup. This is everything.
So congratulations to them.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, did you see that and I'm not sure how I feel about this because, silver is still good, but, I understand.
They took off their silver medals, yeah.
Taking off their silver medals immediately after. Do you like that? Do you agree with that?
Why are you getting upset? Because nobody had the same problem when Canada did it when they lost to the US in the Olympics. Right. We were all kind of making fun of them. So if same thing happens in baseball, you got to eat that. That's an L you got to eat. But guess what? Most baseball fans don't really care about the World Baseball Classic like that. The World Series is more important. So Judge could choke in the World Baseball Classic. You better not choke in postseason. I don't care what you do in March. I care what you do in October. And I think most American fans care about that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think we're definitely more focused on October. The Miami Heat let down yesterday. Unfortunately, gave up 40 points in the fourth. Didn't necessarily have a lead all game with Charlotte. Hornets add to the currently declining Miami Heat, fresh off of their 7-game victory streak, have now lost 2 in a row. And unfortunately, as Vlad pointed out earlier, it is not looking like an easy road ahead for them. So fingers crossed, of course, as we continue to monitor the health of Bam Adebayo and a few other players we've been missing. But I'm kind of in a wait and see mode in regards to this Miami Heat team. I think all of us are. And they won't trick me again. I thought they weren't going to trick me. And then they did this whole 7-game thing.
They tricked you guys.
They tricked me so bad.
They did. You know what? You know how I know they didn't trick me?
Yeah.
Because the whole time all this was going on, everybody was calling me a party pooper. So I was keeping it real then.
Nope.
That is true. That is true.
And so from that standpoint, it's not a matter of being a hater or nothing. It's just that you got to put things in perspective. Like, this is the longest win streak they've had in 2 years.
Gross.
I mean, think about it. So
That's why they tricked me.
And it was probably the first stretch of games that they've all been healthy. And so that's promise, but you see where the problems come. One, they're not very big. Two, their best defender is 4 or 5 inches shorter than everybody else. And when you have to play catch up, the guys you put in the catch up can't play a lick of defense. That's the reality. So how do you combat that? They try to play the zone. Orlando picked the zone apart. Ball just shot from outside the zone, right? So they got some work to do. They got some things to figure out. I would just say I'm not necessarily going to call that last 7-game win streak fool's goal, but I am going to be a little cautious with how I project the future with this team because there's still a lot of uncertainty, especially with Bam and Wiggins out. If this had happened with Bam and Wiggins in, then I would say, yeah, fool's goal.
Speaking of basketball, everyone hold your breath, guys, because you can actually release if you've been holding your breath because WNBA has reached an agreement. We're back, baby. No lockout. I know you guys have been watching.
ESPN needed that, boy. They needed that.
I know you guys have been watching that with with intent on making sure you got to see your ladies on the hardwood this season. I know you guys are big WNBA fans, but they've reached a new collective bargaining agreement and reportedly will now be receiving a let me use the exact wording from the WNBA president here. All right, my computer froze there. But long story short, they get more revenue from the leagues. They get more of a sizable share of the revenue, as well as more options for parental leave and a bunch of other things that, according to them, redefines what being a professional in this league means. So
they better sell. That's all I'm saying. You got Sunday night. ESPN is designating Sunday night as women's night. They're gonna put nothing but women's sports. They don't have the Sunday night baseball package anymore.
Right.
You just better hope you garner enough attention because all of this talk, if nobody's watching, then it was all for naught. So
it's true. Very true. Very true. Ball's in their court.
I'm happy for them. Happy that they're getting their
listen.
They're getting compensated
correct
fairly.
But
you still got to put the product still got to be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the last couple of years, the WNBA has been like fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Just as a guy who likes sports, I know it's not men's basketball, but it was pretty entertaining. So yeah, good for them. They deserve a bigger cut of the pie because this last wave of talent that has come into the league has boosted the revenues a ton. And they deserve a piece of that.
Yeah, I agree definitely. And they were pretty adamant in public with their drama that they had going on. I remember hearing Angel Reese say that her salary didn't cover her rent. I know recently another report came out that one of these players had to hire a private chef, but then had to fire the private chef because couldn't afford to keep. And I understand these are all luxuries to someone who's an 8K rent or a private chef, but when you're professional and your body is what makes you money, you're going to have to take care of it. So it's not just a private chef for luxury purposes. LeBron James puts millions of dollars into his body in regards to recovery, and it's helped him lasts and the longevity that he's had in his career. So
He's
now they
still
have the
a freak of
opportunity.
nature also.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, for sure. Schmeathan thinks that Leroy cannot name the defending WNBA champion. Is that correct? Hey,
He's
listen,
right.
Hold on. It wasn't.
close to home.
He's right.
Huh?
I mean, we have to give you hints. Then yeah, he's right.
Yeah, he's right. He's
Yeah.
right. He's right. I
It's
believe
Asia.
it was
Asia
Asia
Smith.
Wilson. Is she on the Aces?
Yes.
He's on the Vegas
Yeah.
Aces.
Yeah. Their 4th title.
Can I just say I brought up something that kind of was alarming to me, in that Bam Adebayo and Asia Wilson may be the best in regards to athleticism and just overall ability in regards to like a sports couple, right? Do you guys know any other sports couples that are competing
Current or
with?
past?
You know what? I'll give you an opportunity. I can't think of any current, but if you can name any of the past.
Well, past would have been Agassi and Graf, but that kid never became a tennis player. There was a football player and a track star.
Oh,
that got together.
yeah, he was a safety.
Yeah, he was a safety, and she was like one of the best track and field runners.
Right.
In California. I want to say Sonia Richards or something like that.
That's it. That's it. You're right.
You're like
That's
an encyclopedia. It's pretty good.
I can't.
You know.
You know what? Noma, Gossip Hour, and Mia Hamm. There you go.
Oh, that's good. Hey, no.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's a
listen,
good
give
one.
yourself a point for that one. But you pulled that one from the depths of I don't know what. But
Depths of hell.
every time I see him bat, all I keep thinking about is him doing the gloves.
for me, anytime I hear his name, I think of Ken Griffey Jr. baseball, because I just remember hearing Nomar Garcia Parra over and over again and thinking like, this guy has a long ass last name.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Maybe Bam and Asia, because they're actually really good in their respective sports.
Yes,
Usually
and now
you don't have- it might be a good one, might be dominant in their sport than the other, but
Yeah.
to have, I mean, Asia's
These
the
are
best
two-
player in her sport, and Bam's the top 25 player.
well, hear me out, and this is the problem. Obviously, you can immediately think they're probably going to have super athletic children if they,
Well,
go
we
that
hope.
route.
We
We
would
would hope, yes, for sure. But what I was thinking is, in a couple, there is usually a great athlete and then a not so great athlete, right? Because that's just usually how it is. It seems like there can really only be room for one.
Yeah, like your
Well,
relationship.
part of it is the sport
Yes,
that
I'm
you're
the
in, too.
athlete.
No, the wife is the athlete,
No, I'm the athlete.
and you're the frog.
I'm nervous because there can only be one, and I'm wondering, is Asia the one, and we have the other one?
I mean,
Like-
you gonna say that right after the man hit 83?
I mean, I get the 83. But listen,
I mean,
he got
we all
83.
rebroadcasting the 83-point performance
True, true.
tonight,
We are.
starting at 7 p.m. on 104.3 FM WQAM. Relive Bam's magic.
Relive
tonight.
the magic.
And
that
you gonna
was.
say that right
You gonna
after
say that?
like 83? Like
But it was.
Asia is gonna is making history in a new sport. Bam is the second leading scorer in a game in NBA history. What you think's gonna last longer?
Asia.
Yeah. Now ain't nobody gonna score
somebody
83
gonna
though.
Somebody gonna break Bam's record.
You think?
Somebody gonna be
I think so.
better
Yeah,
than Bam's
No,
I think
Nah,
someone's
dude.
more likely to do that for sure.
Yeah, there's a chance somebody might beat Bam's. I mean, Bam's second most points. I don't want to say record because
Yeah.
technically it still
Yeah.
will, even though there's
Correct.
no visual or video footage of it. But
All we
it's
have is that letter
all we got is that
or
card.
that card.
Yeah,
Someone put Cap for Life put Meg the Stallion and Klay Thompson.
he's
Yeah,
not an
see,
athlete.
Meg is the athlete.
No,
and-
Meg's not the athlete. Stop.
What?
Meg's the entertainer. Stop your hate of
All
Clay.
So I know we're replaying the game today, but I'm just saying, are we on the wrong side of history here? Or do we have the other one in regards to Asia
No.
and Bam? I mean,
No.
I guess
I
You
mean,
know Meg
here,
is
let me
athletic
say
in her
this.
own ways, J.
Let me say
Not
this.
an athlete.
How about
an
this?
athlete.
I would say that Bam is just as important to his team as Asia is to her team.
Well,
the numbers may be different, but their importance to their organizations are the same.
Dates off says Meg looks athletic to me.
When's the Derby? It's in May, right?
The
Yeah,
Derby?
Okay.
Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, the first Saturday in May.
It's not a good day for me because you just said Derby, and I was like, when is the home run Derby? I realize I'm not doing great with my sports references today, but I'm positive half of those names Date South made up about the Broncos.
No, those were actual Broncos.
There was
if you played John Madden, you would know those names.
I don't play with the Broncos. But listen,
if you played Madden, early Madden, you would know.
Yeah.
Carl Mecklenburg, Rulon Jones.
You know who I know? I know
Smith.
Jay Fiedler. That's who I know.
That's some sad days.
Tim Owens.
Hey, you want to know something crazy? Y'all want to know something?
something?
Y'all want to know something crazy? I played with Jay in Minnesota.
Jay
Fiedler?
Fiedler?
Yeah,
Oh,
Big
really?
years.
yeah.
Wait, after Miami or before Miami?
Before Miami.
Before Miami, yeah.
He went from Minnesota to Jacksonville. Then Jacksonville to Miami.
Sad. But you
Sad.
should remember Jay Fiedler because he's the last quarterback that won you a playoff game.
Yep.
Rough. That is
It's funny because
that hurts.
of every quarterback that was here, right? When you think about it, the most successful one was Jay Fiedler.
I've been saying that for the years.
And
That man don't get the respect
you know what sucks about all that is every quarterback that has been here has been trashed.
Right, but understand what Fiedler did. It wasn't Fiedler followed the man immediately and got them to the playoff and won a game.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is following the man? You'd rather be the guy after the guy that follows the man.
Yeah,
for sure. And who was that? Who was the guy after Fiedler? Oh, I think I know. I think it was I think we tried Greasy for a little bit.
No, was it Greasy?
Was it Sage?
Sage Rosenfels? Oh, like see, these are the names I know.
What about old boy that got just knocked into the after realm?
Oh, Pat White died. We talked about this. He was unalive. Ike Taylor. Taylor unalive Pat White. You still could, you know what, Leroy, at like around 1:48, right? At 1:48 p.m. If you look towards the sideline, right, the sun shines on that part of the field, and you could see the chalk outline of Pat White on the graph. You still can see it to this day. It's amazing, really. It's amazing. Yeah. Always 1:48 p.m. You look at Hard Rock
Player.
Yeah, I mean that's what it was probably called. You know, Land Shark, Pro Player, whatever it was called, Fruit of the Loom. I don't know, but if you look at Hard Rock Stadium, 1:48 p.m. Chalk outline of Pat White.
We went from
like they do on baseball, like they do in baseball with a guy fall around at third.
Right.
We got Jay Fiedler, and then we went from Fiedler to we had a couple games of Ray Lucas. Had a couple games of Brian Greasy. And then we went AJ Feely, Sage Rosenfels got in there. Gus Farrat started 15 games.
Man.
Oh, that was a rough year. 2005, 15
What is Gus famous for? Knocking himself out.
Yeah. On national TV.
Yep. You don't remember that, Marcos?
I didn't know that it was
after
Gus
a touchdown, he headbutted the stadium. Like the padded stadium.
Nasty work.
I'm looking at it right now. This is to be known for this is like the butt fumble.
It's right up there.
That's rough.
Yeah, but the butt fumble, at least you ran into somebody.
Yeah, this
right?
one is
self-inflicted. It was crazy.
All right. Let's ask a question here. Would you rather run into somebody's buttocks or run into a pole?
I would say run into your own
teammate's ass and then fumble, or run into a pole after scoring a touchdown.
No, he didn't run into a pole. He headbutted pads at the end of the stadium after scoring a touchdown and knocked himself out.
Okay. I'm gonna take knocking myself out after scoring a touchdown.
I'm not taking
fumbling the ball, running to the freaking.
That's sheer stupidity.
320 pounds of a sweaty buttocks. No, I'm not. I'm
Can't
sorry.
do it,
no.
bro. With such velocity that the ball flies in the opposite direction.
It
because
fumbles the ball.
How hard,
dude,
this man.
Like, it was the equivalent. It was the equivalent of running
like, dude, think about this. Think about this. We went through the next 25 years of sports, and that when you said butt fumble, you knew exactly.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
At least with I would say this, at least with the quarterback, you got to explain the story of what he did. But if I just say butt fumble, you know the whole story.
It's got a good name.
It's two bad things. You ran into somebody's butt and you fumbled.
Yeah,
it's true. That's double. And
that's double.
It was in the field of play. Like the other one is after you score.
Right. I scored a touchdown and I was celebrating. I just, I went a little crazy and then boom, I headbutted myself and gave myself a concussion. You can laugh at me about it, but at least I scored a touchdown. I still got 6.
Right.
I ran into somebody's buttocks on Thanksgiving Day and fumbled the ball.
Rough. Yeah, I think you're right on this one, Vlad. I'm going with that too. I'd rather, I think Ted Ginn Jr., if I'm not mistaken, the opening kickoff of the national championship. I love that. Listen, I'm a big Ted Ginn fan, but he returned. Yeah, he has a good, especially in Ohio. I think if I'm not mistaken, he's still doing things around there. Him and his family.
That was my wide receiver coach in college.
Ted Ginn
in Michigan?
Cam Cameron.
Oh, Cameron?
Cameron.
And you know who the offensive line coach was? Les Miles.
All right, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we will continue to discuss all things South Florida sports. But like Vlad mentioned earlier tonight, if you're interested in listening to history, we will be replaying the 83-point game from Bam Adebayo. You can catch that live tonight right here on 104.3 FM WQAM. Come back with more Tobin and Leroy next. Welcome on back to the Tobin and Leroy show. Hello, Figgy.
Hello.
Our boy
How you doing?
Leroy, excellent. Our boy Leroy pulled the typical. We're coming back from
Leroy.
break. I'm gonna
It's
leave.
snack time.
Yeah, for sure.
It's snacking.
I was looking at some stuff on the break here that I thought was interesting, revolving around a couple sports podcasts. I saw something that I thought was interesting. You know that Pat Bev podcast, Vlad, that was
Which the rapper
with
Ron?
Roan. Yes, with
Yeah.
Roan. Apparently Pat Bev has started his own podcast, and because that one has moved on from him. The Pat Bev pod, which is no longer the Pat Bev pod, is now hooping and hollering with Roan still, but they've replaced him with Jason Williams.
Oh, Jay Will. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's solid. I mean, solid replacement. I think Jay Will has a good personality on him.
He's funny as hell, man. And
Yeah.
he's still a dog when he's playing. I don't know if you saw there's a video
I
circulating.
did him with at the Barstool, right? Him with the Barstool
Barstool,
guys.
Yeah.
What's funny is Leroy was commenting on the fact that Jay Will sounds exactly like Randy Moss.
They sound like Rand, West Virginia.
Yeah, exactly. But I thought that was interesting how they just completely, like, if we were to just move on from the Pat Bev pod and just change the name.
Somebody hit me up on X. Simone Biles and the coach receiver.
Yes, but in that sense, though, we know Simone Biles is the one, and the Colts receiver is the other guy.
Because we don't know his name.
We gotta know your name, there, guys.
We gotta know your name.
That's true.
You know who Myles Garrett is with a snowboarder.
Yes, that one could be.
Ooh.
Yes, that child will be very, very
Athletic. Yeah.
Jonathan Owens.
Yeah, there you go. That's Simone
Jonathan
Biles.
Owens.
That's Simone Biles.
Yeah. So you know when you wash clothes and you have a little timer when it tells you how long it's done.
Yeah.
My thing is, it says a minute for the last 17 minutes. The spin cycle.
That does happen.
Is this washing?
Right? It always does it with the spin cycle. It says a minute left. So I'm sitting there waiting to put the clothes in the dryer. And I'm like,
The deception is real.
yeah.
So time doesn't exist.
Especially 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Wait. First of all, Jennifer, you gave the smart aleck laugh. I wasn't even talking about you.
But like, it's crazy. I know you're not directing it to me, but it's crazy how everyone has an opinion, yet everyone does the same thing.
No, not true.
Okay.
Leroy's always late.
I've
It's
missed maybe 2 or 3 times coming to the show late because of traffic, and I always give a heads up.
I'm not referring to traffic. I'm talking about everything.
Sometimes there's
It's
traffic
all
in
in
the
there.
kitchen.
No. But if I'm at the office and I'm late, it's because of you.
Oh, that's cute. That's very bold of you. That is so bold of you because that is not true.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Your little alarm goes off.
I'm gonna start taking pictures of you walking
She
around.
comes back.
with the
Wait. She comes back late from a break and has an alarm that goes off telling her she should be headed back.
I will say Leroy was
that
not late.
alarm has like a 2 minute, 1 minute.
What kind of
On her
alarm
watch.
do you have?
Excuse me.
What kind of alarm do you have if it's a 2-minute delay?
That's not a good.
No. I put it like, let's say you tell me, oh, it's like 4 minutes of a break or whatever. I'll put like 3 minutes or 2.5.
But why do you still come late?
Well, because sometimes I just don't get your message on time.
But how you get your message? You get an alarm.
Hey, see?
You know what? Like I said, I love how you're questioning me. What you all do
Here we go. Moonwalking accountability.
Okay?
Here we go.
You don't think I can do the other.
No, Jay
No,
would be a
minus
hell of
one
a
to
corner
everyone.
right now. She would be a hell of a corner the way she's got them. If you
Mhm.
said you have an alarm and I text you, I didn't even want to say that I
Yeah,
text
but
you.
you're
added
texting
that I text-
literally whenever I get, I'm already sitting down.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No.
It could be that iPhone. You know, that iPhone gets, bad
You
connection.
see now,
Could be.
there's Marcos and his
I'm just saying.
Android.
I'm
He's
just
trying to
saying.
blame it on the.
No, I'm
Apple.
just saying. Listen, this is, it seems like Apple to Apple activity, and of course it's going to be slow. I mean, it's inferior.
Yeah, nothing's worse than having everybody's in all blue and then some fool got to be in all green. Get out of here, man. Get your Android ass out of here.
It hurts. It hurts. I feel like I'm one of the more discriminated groups of people in America right now.
Oh, you're a frog.
See, it ain't easy being green. The Maxx Crosby trade.
Yes,
We talked about podcasts before. He finally addressed what happened, and I'm going to read some of his comments that he made on the podcast, and you guys tell me if something smells fishy. Crosby, according to this article, spilled all the tea on his podcast, The Rush with Maxx Crosby. He detailed the chaotic visit to the Ravens facility. He said, according to Crosby, the red flags popped up immediately, starting with the fact that the Ravens GM, Eric DaCosta, was basically MIA for the 5 hours that Crosby was at the facility. So you can imagine.
He was negotiating with Ted Hendrickson.
You can imagine that honestly is probably what he was doing.
I'm telling you, like this. Let me tell you why this doesn't pass the smell test. Because everybody in the league knew that this man just had surgery, right?
Yeah.
Everybody in the league knew that this man just got off crutches. So what kind of physical is he going to pass? So you agree to give up 2 first-rounders, and then you probably worked out a deal with Ted Hendrickson around the same time.
I think it's Trey.
I
don't know, though.
Ted Hendrickson was also a rush in back in the day.
Wow. Relation?
For the Raiders, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So my bad. Trey. So you work out a deal with Trey, you probably get a favorable deal because, you telling him, hey, you can either do this deal or we're going to go ahead on and get Maxx Crosby. You do the deal, and then you say he failed the physical that you knew he was going to fail the physical before he got on the plane and went to Baltimore. And then you get your 2 first-round picks back. It's just fishy. It's just fishy. I don't know if something happened like that, but that signing happened right after they said he failed the physical. That was too quick.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that time he was gone, he was probably negotiating. Crosby goes on to say that instead of shaking hands and celebrating his new team, Crosby says he was stuck grinding through long, drawn-out medical tests, MRI, scans, the whole nine, focused heavily on his surgically repaired knee. He said, I didn't see him one time. I'm like, where's Eric at? He just made the trade.
You know what they're testing for?
What?
There's only one thing they're testing for, Vlad. Bone on
bone.
Bone on bone.
Yeah, to see if you have any cartilage or ligaments in that knee.
Correct.
If you don't, you're a risk. If
right.
you have something,
right,
take the chance.
But it just seemed to me like when you brought him in, knowing he just got off crutches, you knew there was going to be some issues, right? Like, you don't need to be a doctor to know that there's going to be issues. And you bring him in, and you like, if we have another option, we can always fail him on the physical.
He continued to talk about his interaction with the new head coach of the Ravens, Jesse Minter. He said, I dap him up, blank face, no reaction. The energy was just weird.
Know why?
Yeah, because he already knew he ain't gonna be here long.
Right. It just seemed
But
like,
come
and
on, man.
I
Come
said
on.
this.
You can fake it at least.
I said this when this happened. So this is nothing new for me. It seemed fishy from the get-go, right? And now he's saying, he's almost giving the appearance that all of his interactions with Baltimore weren't sincere. It was like they had an ulterior motive for having him there. And I think having him there was to get Trey Hendrickson to sign. Does that make sense? It just seems like everything happens so quick.
So
and to fail. Like, let me ask you this, and this is what kills me about this. Not only did the Nets trade for KD, but gave him an extension, and dude had a torn Achilles, which is much worse than a knee, right? And they didn't even care about a physical. So if you want a guy bad enough, you'll overlook a lot of stuff. Look at pro sports. We'll look over your issues. Guess what? The Browns overlooked all of Deshaun Watson's issues because they wanted Deshaun Watson. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to err on the side of caution, but we got a backup plan that's ready to go tomorrow.
he continues to say that DaCosta eventually sat him down and dropped a bomb that team doctors had concerns about his knee and wanted more opinions. I was terrified, Crosby admitted. I'm thinking, what the bleep, is something wrong? Crosby thought another surgery might be on the table, which could have wiped out his 2026 season. Desperate for answers, he called renowned surgeon Neil Elatrach and got a completely different story. Doctor said, don't listen to that. Your knee is great. So he calmed down, thinking the deal was alive. Just minutes after being reassured by Ravens staff that everything was fine, Crosby got a call from his agent with the exact opposite news. He said they were backing out. And just like that, blockbuster trade was over. He said it happened in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
And
like it just like the thing that really sells it for me is how, what's the word I'm looking for? How nonchalant they were when they were talking to him. If you make a blockbuster trade like that, the excitement that's going through the building is unbelievable, right? Like the whole building is excited when you make a trade or a deal like that. The building is on fire. For him to meet all of the powers that be and not even the guy who supposedly did the deal, and they were all like, blah, hi, right? You should have known at that point something was up. I know I would have. It's like, this gives the appearance that this is something the owner wanted to do, but nobody in the building wanted to do. Right? That's what that feels like. So I don't know. One of the things about it is you can't do nothing about it because every team has their own. That's the reason why the Dolphins ended up with Dante Culpepper instead of Drew Brees. Right? Because the doctors said, I trust a leg over an arm.
Well, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll play our favorite Wednesday game, Rats Off a Ship, next. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. We are live here with our favorite game to play on a Wednesday, Rats Off a Ship. I'm going to go ahead and give the topics, go around the room. You guys determine whether or not you're rats off of ship. We will start with topic number 1. Leroy, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, released their trailer this morning. Rats off a ship.
I've never been a big Spider-Man guy.
You know why?
Why?
Because he's small.
No, that's not why.
Leroy
on,
is
man.
a sizist.
It's a size. You're not believing Peter Parker could be no superhero, even if he has
I'm not.
a web.
That's not it. I just never been in a Spider-Man.
Well, will you admit that Green Lantern is Irish?
You still trying to get that over?
Still trying to
-1.
Yeah.
It helps you sleep at night, Marco. Yes, he is.
He's Irish, dude. He's Irish. Okay, so you're rats off a ship on this new Spider-Man movie that comes out in July.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm not a guy that's like, ooh, new Spider-Man is coming out. I'm gonna go see it.
All right. Figgy, what about you?
As much as I hate hearing that word specifically, that first word, I'm not rats off a ship because I
like,
actually do
spiders?
enjoy those movies. Stop! Why do you gotta say it?
Yes, I finally know.
Listen,
Oh God.
J
You
Fig.
do anything that resembles that, and honey,
Jay-
you're in for
wait.
How
one.
do you what? I already know your fear. If I put
Jen-
you
You're in
Jennifer.
for one. You know what? At
Let
that
me tell you
moment, I
something.
will see.
You take
Definitely.
care of
I don't
my
care.
snakes, I'll take care of your spiders. Spiders don't bother me.
Thank you. You know what? Thank you so much because you're out here trying to take care of me, and this man's trying to throw spiders at me.
What does
You're
one
in
get
for one.
spiders to
You
throw
know
at
who was
you?
scared of spiders?
You're in for one.
You want me to tell you? You know who was scared of spiders?
Nope.
You remember Bob Sapp?
Yeah, big old
Big-
Bob Sapp.
Big Bob Sapp fought 7
Yeah,
guys on
the
pay-per-view in Japan.
Yeah.
Right? He lives over there. He's worth a boatload of money.
Spiders.
When we used to get on the plane, we used to all bring like little bags of plastic spiders and throw them on him, and he would flip out. He hated spiders.
God.
That's wrong.
Why would you guys do that to the fighter?
If he decided to get angry and mess up the plane, it would be your fault.
Yeah, I just made
Okay.
sure I did it with other big guys. That wasn't a solo quest.
Operation.
Yo, you
Yeah, that
hide
was
it,
a solo
Leroy.
operation.
Leroy's a hiding. Come on, man.
Mhm.
Vlad,
I'm
what about
like-
you? Spider-Man?
I would tell the big lineman, I say, look, I bought a bag of spiders, go throw them on Sap.
Scaredy cat.
That's wrong.
I am not rats off the ship.
Are you a
like-
Spider-Man guy?
Yes.
Okay.
He's from New York. Vlad's got to like him.
He's from Queens.
Uh,
Captain America was from Brooklyn.
oh, okay. That's right. Not sure if you guys saw, but Jake Paul is in the news again.
Rats
MVP.
off the ship.
Oh wow.
This time,
Yeah,
yeah,
Fake
that's
already told you.
Rats off
okay, but I do have some good news though. He's actually stepping out of the spotlight for this one, and it's his MVP Promotions that are putting together an MMA card scheduled for May. I'm gonna name the card thus far. You tell me if any of these things interest you.
Other than the main event that we've heard, Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey.
Yes, other than that, the card is actually pretty stacked. We have Jason Jackson, who is leaving.
Wait, Jax?
He's leaving the Miami Heat to fight. Apparently,
Wait a minute. He's putting an Ashcroft away to put on some MMA gloves.
yeah,
Hey.
yeah. He's
Oh,
You know what he would say right now?
I'm gonna knock you out.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Jason Jackson is a MMA fighter. He's going against Lorenz Larkin. That's probably the least
That's not like two
notable.
brothers.
Yeah, right. Jason
That
Jackson.
definitely
Lorenz
sounds
Larkin.
like two brothers fighting.
You know why?
Jason
Because
versus-
they're both alliterations. They
I don't know either one. God
Me
bless.
God bless them both. But this is where the names start to get notable here. Nate Diaz is making his return to fighting versus Platinum Mike Perry. Our boy Tobin partnered with Mike Perry a couple times during his dirty boxing. So Nate Diaz, Mike Perry. Okay,
Definitely.
pretty.
That's a good
And
one.
then they got Francis Ngannou making his return to MMA. He's on the card as well versus some guy who I don't even know, Felipe Lins or something like that. I'm assuming he's just a warm body for Francis Ngannou to kind of annihilate. But yeah, we got a card that you mentioned, Rousey and Carano, who are headlining it. So this MMA card put together by Jake Paul. You rats off a ship on Jake Paul's MMA MVP promotion here, Leroy?
I'm gonna say I'm not for this reason. One, he pays the fighters, and two, they do try to get some fights that you want to see.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'd be intrigued by it. You know, I'm not necessarily a big fan of the Paul brothers, but I do appreciate that every fighter that's fought on one of their cards says they pay.
Yeah, I have heard that as well. I know he's done wonders for Amanda Serrano's career in regards to female boxing.
Why did she get kicked? I mean, she could have had a nice little career going doing Mandalorian.
Amanda Serrano, the boxer?
Not
Amanda
Serrano.
Serrano.
Who am I talking about? Yeah, Serrano.
No.
That's Gina
No way.
Serrano.
Ah.
I'm thinking Gina Serrano.
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano.
Carano.
She's already on that.
She's already on that card though.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You screwed that up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You
I was
said
talking
Serrano.
about. Yeah, I was talking about the female Puerto Rican boxer that he usually puts on his cards.
That
But
always
yeah,
fights the Irish girl, Katie something.
yeah. Figgy, you rats off a ship on Jake Paul's MMA card.
Sorry.
Should we with the comment? He's a beautiful idiot. Is she beautiful? That's the nicest thing Shweethan's ever said.
That's why I'm laughing.
Right, right. Like, how should we take that?
Yeah, I really don't know. Thank you. I don't know.
Thank you.
I'm not rats off a ship getting your money, but like, I probably won't
Just
watch
Jake
it.
Paul.
So,
That's fair.
Yeah. So I'm not. I mean, I'm rats off a ship.
All right. What about you, Vlad? What do you think?
No, I'm not rats off a ship. I mean, we're all gonna watch. It's on Netflix. We got Netflix.
Oh,
Yep.
Netflix. Hey, listen. I like me a little Netflix.
I would like them to start the
pay-per-view.
card at 8 instead of middle of the night.
Well, we can't do that for you, Dad.
Can't do
Leroy.
that.
They
Can't do
need
that.
the West Coast to also to watch, so they're gonna start as late as possible as they can to get the West Coast viewers. But I hear you.
All right. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, give you your headlines. Gonna hear from Alex Donno. Got my interview shirt ready. That and much more on the Tobin and Leroy Show. Welcome on into the final hour of the Tobin and Leroy show. Can I just say this Lupe Fiasco album that this was on, this is Superstar. One of the most slept on albums in hip hop history. The Cool and Food and Liquor from Lupe Fiasco. I'm dropping gems here. One person is going to hear this and be like, hey, he knows some things. Anyway, he's the best rapper.
There you go. There you just canceled.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you though?
Your great Lupe Fiasco take with that right there.
Nonsense.
Okay.
Foolishness.
Of course, you guys would say that. You're still bumping a guy's album from 2 years ago, 2 Super Bowls ago.
Who?
The They Not Like Us guy. What's his name again? Kenneth.
Oh, you mean Arby's daddy?
So
Arby's.
So
Arby's.
He's got the meats.
I'm gonna tell you that one of the best rappers never really hit mainstream, and that's Nas.
Oh yeah,
Nas hit mainstream. Nas hit mainstream.
He not you know what I'm saying. You know what
Nas
I mean.
hit mainstream. He
hit mainstream.
No. Vlad, he hit mainstream for you because you know things and you're from New York. But if I mention the name Nas to a Gen Zer, they don't know who that is.
Who's Gen? How old is Gen Z?
I don't know. The one after us, I guess.
They're probably
like Britney.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Britney would know.
No, but Britney doesn't know that people that age. They're born in 2000, bro.
But she knows who Jay-Z. You know, she knows who Nelly.
Yeah, but I think a lot of those people know. I mean, you might know Hove because of B. You know what I'm saying, or just the correlation to B, and just the fact that he's a billionaire and people always refer to him. But if you're talking about music and everything like that,
it also depends on who you grew up around, because. It's like, let's say me, I was not born during the time that classic rock was at its prime, but I love classic rock. And I know of many artists from that time because I grew up around my father who introduced me to all these people.
And there you
Same
go.
thing with Britney. She also grew up with some people my age who have introduced her also to these kind of artists. So
it all depends on who your mammy and your pappy is.
And just in general, who you grew up
your
around.
older siblings and cousins. If they know music, they'll put you on to good music. It doesn't matter when. You can listen to 70s, 80s music. If you like it, you're gonna feel it. As a matter of fact, sometimes we hear samples and we're thinking it's a song that's currently out.
I correct them right away, Vlad.
And it's like, nah, this is the original. So yeah, people just need to do their research. Do your Googles.
Schmeathan says Marcos is Fruit Loop Fiasco.
It's you know what? I'll give you a point. It does. It's
Fruit Loop Fiasco. I will say though that I have a problem right now, and J. Cole just came out with an album that I'm sure is amazing, but let me tell you why I have no respect for J. Cole.
Oh come on, what we still doing this?
Let me tell you why I have no respect for J. Cole, for Jermaine. All right.
Let me say this.
If
the words Drake come out of your mouth.
No, they will, but not for a reason that you think.
Okay.
So during this beef, right? And Vlad, you're a hip hop head, so I know this is alarming to start, but I'm sure you'll see what I'm saying.
I already know what you're saying. I agree with you.
When this beef started, it was an opportunity for all of these three gentlemen to show that they were that guy. Hip hop is very competitive. Fine, when it's all said and done, maybe you could say Drake lost.
No, it ain't maybe. It ain't maybe.
They're still counting the votes.
There ain't no vote. This ain't there's no Chad. This ain't a Chad.
They found some
Chad.
votes.
This ain't no hanging Chad. Pause. All right.
Yeah.
No. He got his ass kicked.
The polls are still open.
Nah, ain't no more polls. The only polls.
Get to your point, Marcos. You ain't gonna never accept that. We all know.
No, literally, like before the segment ends, just get to it.
J. Cole is a coward for dropping a track, deleting it, and then telling everyone that it hurt him in his tummy to know that he was beefing with his friend, that he felt it in his little.
I'll give you a point. I'll give you a point for that. That's funny.
He said his little tummy. Oh, it just felt sick to my stomach to beef with my brothers. That is just cowardly to me. That's just absolutely, you get no respect from me.
Now, I
think
I have to agree with
could've won.
Marcos. A competitor, this is competition. This is a sport. Hip hop is a sport. You're competitive. You keep on saying you're the best. You're the best.
Now, I will say this. And
then you don't get involved, then you're not the best.
I will say this. Sometimes you got your closet door closed. And if you get one of these beefs, that door opens up. And everybody can see what you got in your closet. So maybe Leroy, he got something in there.
No,
that
he called Kung Fu Kenny. And Kendrick let him know where this is heading. This is going. Right. And then he was like, "Oh, clutch my pearls." And then,
that makes it even worse.
He decided, but he had already dropped the track.
Yep.
Was it 7-minute drill? He dropped the track and then he took it out and then he went on his concert and he was on some kumbaya stuff. And it's like, nah, the public want blood. We want streets on the body. You can't just start shooting, boom, boom, and then be like, you know what? I don't want to be involved. No, you already let a shot out. You got to get in.
Yeah.
No, if
you already recorded,
you got to go.
If you already recorded something,
and
back down now, because whether you believe it or not, your mindset is already there.
But I will say also, in fairness, I agree with you, Marcos. But it was probably a good thing that he got out of the beef because it was downright nasty. It was
nasty.
It was disgusting. It was disgusting.
I
was all for it too, by the way.
For sure. No, look, for a fan of hip hop, even as much of a Drake fan as I am, I loved and appreciated the moment. It was a monumental moment. And I just think, and honestly, if you look at it, if J. Cole's in this beef, I don't think Not Like Us even happens. So the fact that he stepped out of it was probably, I wouldn't say better for hip hop because I can't imagine.
Did Kendrick Lamar say, "Oh man, now I got to do it myself," and then he wrote that track?
No, he's been wanting it. Kendrick wants beef with everybody. He's
a little man. He's always angry.
He's not a no.
He's a little man.
He just doesn't think one guy from Toronto is just an artist like he is. That was it.
How tall is Kendrick?
And now he has to go to
5'3". He has
to go to Australia. He's got 5 or Europe or wherever to do concerts now.
This is crazy. I can't. I can't believe Aubrey. That's how you know he's light skinned because you can't. I mean, at a certain point, I can never take.
First of all, I can never take Drake serious because he was in a wheelchair in Degrassi.
Oh, man, it's a TV.
You're right. That's so wrong.
That's not. But you can take Janet Jackson.
It's also
serious?
A character.
It's Janet Jackson.
But I'm saying
-1.
Huh?
He's like, you could take Janet Jackson.
You're insulting people in the wheelchair community also.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Was harming.
Only thing I'm saying is this. The role that he played on that show, it's hard for me to take him as this hardcore rapper. When that's why I'm right. You see what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with the wheelchair. It's just the mentality that he had in that show. Then all of a sudden this. No.
I just
looked up both of their heights, by the way. It's basically like standing next to me and Leroy.
Oh,
are you Drake, J-Fig?
I'm Drake.
You know you're losing them, J-Fig.
Am I?
Yeah.
Leroy, this is some of your best work, Figgy. I must say, this is truly some of your best work. I
look like Tattoo. What are we doing?
He playing
Black
literally
Two. Not Tattoo, Black Two.
And Drake is supposed to
Black
be 6
Two.
feet.
What's the Black Two say? The spirit was the spirit.
What, Spirit Airlines?
Yeah, I clearly don't look happy in that picture that I'm 5 foot.
You never look happy in pictures though.
I don't like pictures. They're
like a member of the Lollipop Guild. These headlines.
And that's all that needs, one of them big ass lollipops.
No.
According, you guys missed the point. It has nothing to do with him being
Schmeathen, Leroy.
I know.
Come on, man.
All right.
Schmeathen's got to get his 10-minute comedy act on somebody.
Does
So-
Schmeathen have a job?
No, I think he's a wannabe comedian or out of his luck TV writer who's
I
had
can't wait till we
3
find
or
out
4
who's dealing.
shows and it's never been picked up.
What if I told you Schmeathen was Len?
He's not that funny. Len's not
I
that
think
funny.
that would make my year.
Len
That
ain't,
would be
I may
hilarious.
take shots at Schmeathen, but Len isn't that funny.
That would be fat. That's what
Yeah.
that's what he's trying to lead us to
That's-
believe.
yeah, he
He's
is
probably
He
actually
ain't that
hurt.
funny.
He has
Nah.
a secret
Schmeathen-
identity.
Schmeathen's too quick with that. Schmeathen's too quick. He's on.
You
He's
never
on.
know.
I'm just saying. Not to say if it's rock music or rock albums, Len got you. Len's got it.
Right.
But these jokes right here, that's Schmeathen.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, it'll be a little bit more of our silly sauce and Tobin and Leroy. And I may or may not be wearing an interview shirt after that. So stay tuned to find out right here on Tobin and Leroy Show. The stat come and knock on my door. I'll be waiting for you.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Smeaton is a high-level government consultant for an unnamed agency. Very hush-hush.
He ain't no Fed.
I was looking at something on the break here that is usually out of our wheelhouse, but it is such a crazy story. I wanted to run it by you guys to see if you heard about this. Did you? I'm not even sure if you know what the CAF is. You guys know what the CAF is? It's the cup of the Confederation of African Football. And they had a 2025 Cup of Nations match.
Forfeit?
So, okay, this is what I'm explaining here. Obviously, globally, soccer is probably the leading sport, and unfortunately, it deals with a lot of racism. And during this match, or during the entire tournament, the team that was hosting it, Morocco, was facing off against Senegal, and the Moroccan team was doing a bunch of things that was honestly just straight up cheating. Long story short, they actually, so much so that Senegal had to assign one of their players to make sure that the Moroccan team didn't continue to steal their towels, their equipment. They would take goals off the board. They did whatever they possibly could to try to rob Senegal of the actual victory, to the point where they forced the game to go to overtime. And then even in overtime, Senegal ended up winning. But the corruption is so deep that 57 days after the match, Morocco has now been crowned the winner following a ruling that Senegal forfeited the final by leaving the pitch early. Now, the game shouldn't have gone to overtime. They were cheated in that respect anyway. They were cheated multiple times. They still overcame all that to win. And now 57 days later, the Confederation of African Football has awarded Morocco as the victor, claiming that even though Senegal was on the field the entire time, even had a celebration on the field, took the picture, raised the trophy, champagne popped, they said that they forfeited because they exited the field early. 57 days after the outcome. Can you imagine if this was like a Super Bowl or something?
Let me tell you this. This goes with one of the worst commercials I've ever seen in TV history.
With the kid. Yeah.
Get out of here.
That say, Coach, I touched the ball.
But Coach, man, boy, you be kicked off the team right there. I'll give your uniform to the manager immediately. Okay,
I know exactly what you were talking about.
So for them to do that, get out of here. I won. I'm not gonna forfeit because what?
57, and they didn't even exit the field early. Like that's the thing.
Get out of here with that BS, man.
No, it's absolutely crazy.
Like,
absolutely
you know what? I can be honest about this. I don't want a victory like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? If you're a competitor, do you want a victory like that? Right? That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
in fact, I felt uncomfortable with all the in-game tactics if I'm an athlete, if I'm the athlete on the field.
Yeah, even you saw Bam as he was going for his 83. Once, we started fouling so we could get extra possessions and stuff like that, Bam was telling his team, like, no, don't do that. Obviously, get me the ball, but some sort of integrity in regards to like,
that's different though. That's different because even if they foul at any point in time, they could stop you, right? They still have a chance to play defense.
Yeah,
so your team getting you extra possessions, that just means you got to play defense longer. If you still not playing defense and he's scoring buckets or getting fouled or you fouling him, that's still on you. You have a chance. What happened to Senegal? They got no chance to do nothing. They didn't win or lose it on the field.
Like, this is the type of stuff that was happening. This is the Moroccan players rushing the goalkeeper because the goalkeeper keeps a towel on his net there to make sure that he has the ability to dry his hands. So as they've been putting that, the Moroccan team has been stealing the towel. So Senegal assigned someone to hold that towel to make sure that they didn't steal it. And they assaulted the man because, and this is, mind you, this is happening as the game is going on. This man is getting jumped by 4 Moroccan players on the sideline, trying to hold on to this towel. And this is the type of corruption and activity that's going on, just to find out that 57 days after, this is a team that you award as a victor.
Who wants to win like that, though?
Yeah. No, it's horrible. It
You
really
know
is
what I'm
horrible.
saying? Like that would bother me more than anything. Even if I'm a player of the team, the Moroccan team, I'm like, nah, I ain't with this.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. How could you call yourself a competitor? I've complained about unfortunate calls. I've complained about, but at the end of the day, like, yeah, I've never had a call that I can honestly say that was the only reason why we didn't win that game. The only thing I can think of, remember the Vikings versus the Saints, where dude just the pass interference.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand them, right? But it usually doesn't happen like that. The towel's getting stolen describes Dolphins for the last 30 years.
Dolphins.
I mean, like, there's a bunch of franchises that have that stink on them, right? Certain teams have just been bad for a long period of time. Other teams have been decent but not good, right? Just kind of in the middle. You have a couple of good years, 3 bad years, 1 good year, 2 bad years. You can't never get any momentum.
Do you think the Dolphins will have the worst record in the NFL this year?
No.
They'll be vying for it.
Who do you think is going to be worse?
I think you get that new coach smell. That new coach smell, that new organization smell give you about 3 wins.
What about Arizona? That's a good call. Yeah, I don't even know who's the quarterback in Arizona. They're going to draft somebody in Arizona?
Here's what's going to happen in Arizona. They're going to reach. They're going to reach.
No, they're going to get Jacoby. Jacoby's going to be their quarterback.
Yeah.
They're going to have Carson Beck. Like, I don't think the Miami Dolphins will necessarily have.
And we making fun of Arizona. You know, they've been in the Super Bowl more recent than the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like everyone has found more success recently than the Dolphins. Even the ones.
Oh, well, even the Browns. The Browns have won a playoff game.
Yeah.
The only ones who haven't. Have the Jets won a playoff game? Yeah. They went to 2 AFC championship games.
AFC championship.
You've seen postseason success.
Carolina went to a Super Bowl.
I didn't like the way you said that. I didn't like the way you
Carolina
said that.
went to a Super Bowl. The Vikings have been good, but never been to a Super Bowl.
But they won the playoff game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won. I mean, I won.
They went to the NFC Championship game with Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
They won a game against New Orleans with Kirk Warner throwing to Kyle Rudolph.
Is it us? Are we the worst?
You're up there. You're not as bad as
who is it? I'm trying to think. Who?
But you're up there.
No, the Jets have had. You're not as bad as the Jets, but the Jets have had more recent success than the Dolphins. Who hasn't? Let's go. Let's see.
Listen. Every team's had recent success because the team with the longest playoff drought is the Jets right now. It's the Jets with 16, I believe 16 years.
Oh, just going to the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. The team with the longest drought winning a playoff game is the Miami Dolphins.
Is it amazing that they're in the same conference? I mean, division?
No, it's not, because that means they had to go against Tom freaking Brady for 20 years.
And then the Buffalo Bills.
And comes Super Josh.
Yeah.
You guys see Tom Brady in this flag football thing that's going on?
This guy can't give it up, man.
He can't give it up now. But now he's beefing with Logan Paul.
Why?
Because Logan Paul thinks WWE athletes are better athletes than NFL superstars.
Didn't that already all get turned down?
Well, yes, WWE told them that you can't fight.
No, of course.
Here's what I would say.
But the flag football game is still going.
Here's what I would say. It's hard to determine fake from real. I'm not going to dismiss them as being badasses, but it's fake. You see what I'm saying? When I see a tough guy on a football field, it's real, right? What he's doing on that field is real. When I see a tough guy in boxing, I mean in WWE, he's acting. So it's hard to determine what part of that is his real self. Is he really a badass? Or if it's all just acting because he knows, right? So I'm always going to go with the athlete, not because I, don't think that WWE got some tough guys, but they've never been real tough. When I watch football, that's real tough.
Well, one of the real tough men we will be looking out for in this NFL draft is Rueben Bain. We're going to talk about him and all of our other favorite Canes players with the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Donno, next on the Tobin and Leroy Show. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. We are live here on a Wednesday. We are going to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline to talk to our boy Alex Donno from Locked On Canes podcast. The man, the myth, the legend himself, the guy who I trust for all my Miami Hurricanes knowledge. It's like every time I see you, your Miami Hurricane studios get better, Donno.
I try, man. Hey, Leroy. Hey, Marcos. Hey, Vlad.
What's up?
What's going on,
I'm doing
Don?
well.
My God, what is that, a 4K camera? This guy's a professional.
I do have a I don't know if there's actual 4K resolution on StreamYard, but I do have the capabilities if we ever get to that point.
Higher technology than the program he's utilizing. This is crazy, folks. This is crazy. Donno, first of all, I hope everything is well with you. Haven't had a chance to speak to you since the heartbreak that was the end of the Miami Hurricanes football season. How have you been since then, sir?
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to kind of dwell on that loss because right after Miami loses to Indiana in that game, and I'm proud of the way the Hurricanes played. Again, I'm not I'm not a big moral victories guy, but I still I was proud of the way it came down to a final possession. But then I didn't have a whole lot of time to sort of marinate in the defeat because from the very next morning, we got all this drama about Darian Mensah, that he was getting sued by Duke. And so it was a really weird thing. And I know a lot of Hurricanes fans felt the same way I did as, a guy who creates content, that it's like right after you lose that game, then you kind of go really quickly into roster mode for the upcoming season because you had to kind of fight to get your next quarterback. So, it was a combination of that. And also, again, most of the national analysts just thought, Indiana was going to beat Miami by 30 the way that they beat Oregon and who else they played, that they were blowing everybody out through the college football playoff. I think the fact that Miami got it down to, an opportunity for a walk-off touchdown at the end, unfortunately ended up being a Carson Beck interception instead. I was really proud of the way the team played, and hopefully that was like the starting point of a team that's now learning how to win. And then the next time they get in that opportunity, they finish the job.
I would say to me, it seemed like Beck's arm was hit or miss. Like he was back well enough to play, but he couldn't call on his arm when he needed to. And there were a lot of times during not just the last game, but during the season where he went to crank one and had nothing. And so I don't hold it against him. I think he did a heck of a job. He just maybe wasn't as healthy as we wanted him to be, right? I mean, come on, think about it. Baseball players, how long it takes them to come back. He's throwing a football. Football's heavier than a damn baseball. So, and I know he's not throwing it as many times, but yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me if in the near future everybody starts talking about the rocket that he has, right? It's just unfortunate. He was good enough to play, but not good enough to excel when he needed to at those moments in the game after throwing the football 30 plus times.
Yeah,
and you could see it because that ball at the end just kind of to it
sailed. Yeah.
Just kind of to it, right?
Yeah. No, I think there's something to what you're saying, Leroy, because if I kind of compare, not that Beck has ever been a guy who lives on the deep ball, but even if you kind of compare what his velocity was at Georgia versus what it was at Miami, which is the clear pre-injury to post-injury timeline, it wasn't quite the same. And I don't think it was a coincidence that when he had his NFL Combine workout, it looked like he was throwing the go routes, better than he was at Miami, because he had a couple of pure months to recover from that, because when he was recovering from that UCL surgery and he missed spring at Miami, but during the time when he was missing spring, he talked about it like his arm was dead for some of that time, coming off the surgery. So he wasn't cleared to throw until May, and then he certainly wasn't 100% at that point. And even when he started to kind of, when the season began, there was probably some fatigue, the fatigue that set in from the middle to the end parts of the year. So I think there's definitely something to that. And even regardless of that, I think this coming season with Darian Mensah, I think Miami is going to have a lot more of a downfield threat just based on the way he plays. And even Beck this past year, playing through whatever that surgery took away from his velocity, he was like pinpoint accurate with the short and intermediate stuff,
Correct.
which is a good sign for his NFL career coming up. But I think with Darian Mensah in 2026, a guy who attempted 86 deep balls last year to lead the nation, I think you're going to see a little bit more of that downfield threat. And when you have guys like Malachi Toney and Cooper Barkate, I'm hoping Miami is able to, throw up some 50, 60-yard touchdown passes, a few more of those than you had this past year.
Right. I would also say, about Beck, the thing that made it deceiving was he only got in trouble when he was pressed because he was forced to have to throw a ball a certain way. But when he wasn't, he made good decisions with the football. The timing was good and things like that. And it sucks. Like, that's when I knew it was time to quit, is my mind was telling my body what we needed to do, and my body couldn't do it physically.
Yeah, it's a great point.
And so mentally, everything is working. You're making good reads. You're seeing the field. You're knowing where to run, and then you ask your body to respond, and it's like, just not quick enough to get there, just not strong enough to get there. And
which
so
had to be tough for you, Leroy, because I would imagine the older you get, just the wiser you get. But then it's like when your body starts to betray you, you're thinking, man, at 35, if I had like my 22-year-old, physical responses with my 35 wisdom, I would be perfect. But unfortunately, that doesn't work out that way.
You know what I tell people? I tell people that a football career is like a roller coaster, the old school roller coasters. And what people don't realize is when you go up and make that initial drop, that is the fastest that roller coaster will go. What happens is the turns get tighter, giving you the impression that you're going faster, but you're not. And that's kind of, when you play football, you play a sport, when you're younger, is that initial drop. Athletically, you're gifted, you're making plays, you're able to just be athletic and do things that other people can't, and that separates you. As you get older, you start slowing down, but you get smarter. And it looks like you're still maintaining the same speed, the same cuts, the same moves, but in actuality, you're smarter, you're making them quicker, you're being more decisive. And it looks as if though you're going that same speed as you were 5 or 6 years ago, when in actuality, you're smarter, you're reading defenses, you're doing things like that. Then it gets to the end of the career where all those smarts don't match that athletic ability that you have left. And you're just moving too slow to keep up with what your brain is asking.
That makes sense.
Donno, you had the combine come and go already. The draft is around the corner. Are there any projections as to where some of these Miami Hurricanes players that we fell in love with last season are going? The Rueben Bains, the Maui Noahs, even Carson Beck, who's going to be in the later rounds. Any projections or ideas as to where they may go?
Yeah, and you mentioned your combine is come and gone. We got pro day coming up at Miami on Monday, so I'm going to be covering that, and so hopefully that gives not only the guys who are going to be drafted for sure, but all the outgoing seniors will be participating. So hopefully some of the guys who are projected undrafted free agents can raise their stock as well. And yeah, listen, the feelings are definitely mixed on. If Rueben Bain, does his stock go down much, if at all, with those measurements that everybody's talking about? I still feel like Rueben Bain Jr. should and will be a top 10 pick, despite the fact that he's the first percentile when it comes to arm length at defensive end. I just think you can't overthink it when you watch the tape. I think the tape should speak louder than the measurements.
Who goes first, Maui Noah or Bain?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it all depends on how much stock GMs put in the arms. Like if you kind of take that fear out of the equation, Bain should and will go first. But I think the X factor is that it only takes like one or two GMs to get scared off about the arm length if they draft in the top 10. So I think CC Maui Noah, there's really nothing negative you could say about him as an offensive tackle prospect. I mean, I guess maybe the only thing is he doesn't have collegiate experience at left tackle would be the one thing. He's more than capable.
They're thinking about him and considering him as a left tackle?
I think perhaps I think he's a right tackle. I mean, just that's where he played full time for 3 years at Miami. Like he's got left tackle experience in high school and whatever, but that's obviously not the same deal. But I think he's capable of playing left tackle if that's what a team needs. But as a prospect, like there's no negative. CC's got the measurables and the intangibles, and he's got that freakish strength that he has. So I think CC maybe will go first if the concern over the arms for Bain. You've got Akheem Mesidor, who a lot of people have sneaking into the
That's the thing that I was curious about.
Yeah.
If you look at Mesidor, who played very similar to Bain, not as good, but if his measurables are better, could we have a kind of a situation as what we had with the last two Russians with who's the last two? One went to Buffalo that ended up going ahead of
Russo.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, who went ahead
you
of
see what I'm saying? Because
Jalen Phillips,
we thought Jalen Phillips was going to go first.
Yeah.
And Russo ended up going first.
Yeah.
Now Phillips has had more success. So if they just look at the measurables, I don't think the age thing. I think people should get over the age thing because
that's the thing with Mesidor, he's 24. Yeah.
You're drafting guys like if they give you 7 years, you win, and that's 32.
Yeah. So Mesidor, the age will be maybe a consideration, but like Leroy said, it probably shouldn't be. He should be a first round pick. So I think you got 3 in the first round there. I think Keontae Scott is someone who should go second day. Markel Bell is someone who will probably be a third day pick, but I think he's got second day potential. I think somebody might get a steal there. Carson Beck, of course, who I think can be a very serviceable NFL quarterback, a possible starter or a reliable backup in the league, is going to get drafted. And a guy I'm always championing, who I think is going to be the steal of the late rounds, is Inez Cooper at offensive guard. He, I guess technically didn't have as good of a senior season this past year as his junior season, committed maybe a few too many penalties. But Inez Cooper, guys, he's got a nasty streak. He's a road grader, really tough run blocker, and he's a leader. Like he's been one of the low key leaders of the locker room for the past 4 years. So I think that's another one whoever gets him probably in the later rounds is going to end up having a guy who's going to be an offensive guard starter in the league for a decade. I think he's that sort of player.
Right.
Well, Donno, I know you're a busy man. I appreciate you taking time to join us. Right before we go, because I know we're up against it real quick, one quick prediction. How far does the Canes basketball team make it in the tourney?
Man, I'm hoping Sweet 16. It's gonna be a tough first couple of games for them. I think they should beat Mizzou late Friday night. Two very similar teams, but I would take Miami's stars of Malik Renew, Trey Donaldson, Shelton Henderson. I think I just trust them a little bit more than Missouri's top-end players. But the X factor is you have to basically play a road game because it's in St. Louis against Mizzou, which is ridiculous. The lower seed gets essentially home court. But listen, I think this team has limitations because they don't shoot very well from three. The perimeter defense isn't great, and the free throw shooting is not, the free throw shooting is not good enough for them. But they are gritty, they are tough, They rebound very well. They score very well in the paint. And they've got a bunch of players, even though they came from other schools, with NCAA tournament experience, like Trey Donaldson, who's been at the tournament for the past 3 years. So I think the Canes get through tonight, maybe win another game. So I'm hoping for a Sweet 16 for Jay Lucas in his first year.
That would be he has to be considered for Coach of the Year, right?
Well, he already lost ACC Coach of the Year to John Shire, which is so lazy. It's like, all right, he's the coach of Duke. We'll just give him Coach of the Year, where Miami was the most improved team in all of Division I from winning percentage last year versus this year. So I thought Lucas got robbed. He's we'll just give it to the coach of the best team. Lazy.
Robbed, definitely, Donno. And I appreciate you stopping by, giving your Canes wisdom to us.